Welcome to the Forum Watch, DK Vine's own topic review, hosted by scholarly Saf and some other member who I can't remember. Listen to the Forum Watch or else I'll kill you. I'll slaughter or shoot ya, whatever will suit ya. Maybe I'll frame ya, or maybe I'll maim ya.
Hello and welcome to the Forum Watch. Today I am joined by forum poster Slush. How's it going, Slush?
What am I doing here? This is a mistake. I really feel like this is just the worst decision I've ever made.
Are you talking about coming back to DK Vine at all?
No, I mean doing Forum Watch. It's like I'm very busy right now. I'm a busy guy, believe it or not, despite co-owning a Donkey Kong website. I have shit to do, and I've agreed to sit here with you, Saf, to talk about the DK Vine forum, and I don't know. It's just I've made some poor life decisions, I will admit, and I just wonder where this will rank.
Well, hopefully above Green Porn City.
Okay, Green Porn City. I maintain that had we stuck with Green Porn City,
yes.
it would have matured into a smart strip. We started it. Oh, I'm just starting right off the bat. You're not even asking me any questions.
Go for it, go.
We started it in 2001. It was 2001 or 2002. 2002. God.
Yes.
I was gonna say it was after 9/11. Yeah, it was June 2002, and gave it up in October. Had we stuck with it like 3 more years, that's really when I think our sense of humor started to mature into. Well, you look at our sitcom, Elvin Slick Monty. First season was terrible. Second season, I'll defend. I think there was some smart humor in there, and I think Green Porn City would have had the same effect. We were inexperienced, and our tastes were maturing, but I think it would... and there would always be that period where we'd look, those first few years of Green Porn City, they were fucking terrible, but... I think, like anything, it would have gotten good, and some days I regret that it disintegrated, but then there probably wouldn't be a DK Vine today, so it all works out somehow, or it doesn't, and that's just what we tell ourselves.
No, but I mean, you look at the first couple months of pretty much any popular or even any good webcomic, and they're usually pretty terrible. I'm not really an art person.
Well, I'm not either, and that's the problem. I would do the vast bulk of writing for it. I'm afraid to admit.
Oh, did you write most of Green Porn City?
Well, I mean, Chad, it was a collaborative effort, but considering I was not an artist and Chad drew every strip, I was the head writer is the label I had. So I don't know. I don't think Chad will mind if I take most of the credit. I think 70% of it was me. So
that's a good figure.
Definitely. We were both involved in the world building, though, coming up with characters, and
that was definitely the best part of it.
I know. I maintain the diarrhea strip, though.
Yes, I'm so glad that stuck around as like a DK Vine meme.
It's a little clunky at the end, diarrhea, but. No, I think that... See, the idea was it was going to be a reoccurring feature. Like, every few months,
right.
There would be a new installment of Phil Weinberg's diarrhea. And it would be, where's the diarrhea going to strike him now? And I think it would have been funnier as it went along. So I will defend the diarrhea strip to my dying day.
But the thing is, when we all read it, we knew that we were going to be seeing it again and again and again. And the only reason we didn't is because you shut the damn thing down too soon.
It was Chad's decision. He, as it says on TV tropes, for some reason, it was his angst that led to the cancellation of Green Porn City.
I think I wrote that, actually.
Because I don't know who's in charge of the TV tropes DK Vine page. It would make sense that you would have a hand in it since you were the de facto site historian. But I thought Rock or somebody was also involved. I don't know.
Somebody started it, and then I just went through there and just in a fit of pique just wrote all these snarky things.
I don't know how I stumbled. I mean, I think somebody linked it on the forum, but I just remember. Oh my God! What? Really?
Oh, you made it.
No, there's 6 people who are going to care about that.
Well, TV tropes? Dude, people fucking browse TV tropes all day long.
Yeah, they browse things for they browse it for what they know, and then they skim over like the boring anime shit that just clogs out most of the pages.
The boring anime shit. I love on Wikipedia at one point there was a group of trolls who managed to get a subpage for crucifixion in anime. Yeah, dead serious.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know. I'm afraid to speak out. Like I don't. It's just not my thing. Like I don't understand it, and culturally, it's just not in my worldview, and it makes me sound like I'm a Japanophobe or something.
No,
which
not
I'm
at
not.
all.
It's just.
It's a
It's
taste
just.
thing.
It's just. It's.
I mean, I'm not wildly enamored with anime myself.
My Western sensibilities just kind of raise its eyebrow at anime. I just don't. I can't. I can't intellectually. I can't appreciate it because I'm just. It's too off-putting for me.
Yeah, there's just too much disconnect. It's too. You'd really have to stretch outside your comfort zones, as far as what you consume to really get a whole lot out of it.
I mean, to be fair, I feel the same way when I watch reruns of Full House now. So it's the same thing. It's like that uncanny valley. It's just like, well, this resembles reality somewhat, but it just feels it's making my skin crawl for some reason, and I don't know why.
Full House specifically, there will be episodes where if I'm just blazing high, I honestly can't tell if they're starting a dream sequence or if it's just normal Full House reality.
Speaking of which, I was playing Mario Kart 8 for like 30 minutes last night. I was going through getting some screenshots for DK Vine, and I went into the highlight reel after a time trial. I went in there, and first time playing around with it, and you can slow down your cart or your vehicle as
right,
and that is the trippiest fucking thing. I would be terrified to watch that one high. Because it is okay. For starters, you turn off the music and you just have the sound effects, and then you put the slow motion on, and just the sound it makes when you collect coins. I was terrified. I was like, if you watch that, if you like consumed a pot brownie like Marine Dowd or something, you probably would have a very bad trip watching that because. It was just surreal. It was.
Even the sound of collecting a coin, the most positive sound in Mario.
Yeah, I've never been scared playing a Mario game. I haven't been since I was 5 years old. This fucking terrified me. Hey, yeah. So give it a try. Give it a try, kids. You'll enjoy it.
Oh man, I can't believe you're giving an endorsement of a Mario Kart game.
I can't speak more on it because this will probably go. I don't know if this will go up after the conversation episode about it, so I don't want to step on.
Oh, it'll be a couple weeks later. But
I don't want to.
yeah,
I don't want to step on the toes of that. It's great podcast conversation. Listen to it. It's on www.dkvine.com. That's a little plug for Chad and the crew. Wink.
Yes. Thank you for doing his due diligence on my show. Man. Yeah, definitely not here to talk about games. We're here to talk about the forums.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice change of pace because I'm sick. Every damn week I have to talk about video games, and it's just like, what do I have to say about this week? Oh, Matt, you want to talk about Brothers Bear for an hour and a half? It's fuck.
Man, I gotta say, I've listened. I listen to the conversation quite often, and I don't think I have ever listened to that episode more than twice. It's rough. It's rough going.
Yeah, that's not our proudest moment. But haven't had a. We've actually got 2 sequels in the works though, so.
Oh man, always excited for the future of the conversation. It's a little unfortunate you guys have been getting so backed up here. No Mario Golf episode, no Mario Kart episode yet.
There's just so much to talk about. We'd almost have to do like bi-weekly episodes. the last few weeks, but that's okay because it gives us something to talk about. Granted, like a Mario Golf episode, nobody's going to be tuning in for a Mario Golf episode, so we can pretty much do that whenever. It's not like we're missing out when the iron's hot, because
This is true.
by iron I mean the golf club.
Gotcha.
It's just like I make a Mario Golf post on the Facebook page and it gets like 4 likes, and it's just like, oh, poor Camelot. They really need to make that 3D Donkey Kong game.
Oh man, does it ever bother you that you garner more likes for a less substantive post on Facebook?
No, I think I've learned how to play to the crowd while still retaining that essential DK Vine-ness. I think I can distill that into a Facebook format now. My brain has been rewired to think like that. And granted, like, we are getting more likes for the really like the essays that are posted on Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it all depends, and it's just, also like there's holidays when people aren't looking on Facebook much. They're not like me where I'm on the DK Vine Facebook page most of the day, just having it open in another tab. So it's fine. For most people, it just appears in their news feed. So if they're online and they're active and they see it, they might give it a like. But
Yeah, definitely. But it's really great having that, because it has allowed you to be writing daily updates. And even though a lot of it is for a little, not targeted to my demographic, there's still those features like the Sunday morning shot of spirituality, which everybody just absolutely loves that one, because it's always just like little continuity discussion.
Yeah,
into a little paragraph.
Yeah, I wanted to. That was something I wanted to. I had in my mind for a while, and it took me a while to get that off the ground, just because you have to make sure you have enough content to have a reoccurring feature. But yeah, and so,
I didn't think you could do it with the concept of just spirituality.
Well, sometimes you have to stretch the concept, like Cheeto, the spell book. It's magic, and therefore it's connected to this and that. So spirituality, God, religion, whatever. It's fine. It's just. It's a creative writing process, connecting the dots, and it's fun too, because it's like a little writing assignment every week. It's like, oh, I have to do something for this, and no, it's a nice. It keeps my skills sharp if I'm just doing podcasting for a few weeks. At least I've got that little outlet to keep my skills honed.
Definitely. One of the big factors that was always cited in people in the old staff and the old new staff burning out on the site was that sense of obligation and the amount of work that goes into it. So would you say that Facebook is just a really good balance of the amount of responsibility and difficulty to create?
Yeah, it is. It's nice because it's already formatted for you. You just have to put in the text and the picture and hit, send, and it's basically it's not as there's not as many nitty gritty details as running a website. No, I mean DK Vine's pretty well automated now. Like there's like barely any even HTML coding. That's Chad's hard work right there, but as I was saying before we started recording, Chad is more left-brained and I'm more right-brained, and I think that's why we make a good team. When we make a good team, because we kind of make up for each other's shortcomings.
You make up for each other's shortcomings, and you really bring out the best in each other.
Yeah.
It's a fun friendship.
Yeah, it is. We have a good interplay. It's kind of, and what you hear on the conversation, we do exaggerate and make awful jokes, but that's generally how we are in real life. If you ask Janelle, whenever we're together, it's just constant like wordplay and one-upmanship, and how can I top your joke? And it's just it's the way we've been wired for years now, and that's kind of what gave birth to Elvin Slick Monty. Is I don't think we had that when Greenporn City was around, and by the time Elvin Slick Monty rolled around, that's the way we were playing off each other, and it just that kind of rat-a-tat-tat kind of worked its way, especially into the second season screenplays and scripts, and that's kind of an extension of us if you look closely as well.
Fascinating. Well, thank you for tolerating this sort of just interview format.
Oh, I don't mind. No, this is. I'm just glad I don't have to control the flow of conversation for once.
Oh man. Oh well. I didn't want to bring you in here and be barraging you with fucking questions. But...
No. Let's have at it, man. I want to be in the hot seat. I want to play some hardball. Come on.
Hardball, you say? Hardball. Well,
look. People don't tune in to Forum Watch. They have softballs lobbed at the guests. No, they want to hear some hard-hitting shit. They want people to go home in tears. That's what they want from Forum Watch, and I don't want to disappoint them.
Donkey Konga 2. Hey, you had to know it was coming, dude.
Okay, sure. What does this have to do with the forum? I thought we weren't talking about games.
But you had been doing since 2010 a series of forum posts called the Slush Fund.
Yes, that is true. That is
true, and that is a very clever pun. It took me a little while.
It's a very clever pun. We're good at the clever puns.
Yes, you're very clever boy. It started with, I believe it was Mario Kart Double Dash.
Yeah, it's the game that I did not finish because when the concept of the Donkey Kong universe started with Donkey Kong Country, I had played and beaten every game in order up until Double Dash, and there's a lot of factors involved. Number one being that Double Dash was just pure garbage. It was fresh, hot garbage served up in an appealing trash can, and you start eating it, and then you realize you're eating garbage. But it's you've eaten from this trash can before, and I don't know why you would eat anything from a trash can that's not garbage, but that's the analogy I just chose, so I'm sticking with it. And anyway, so it's Mario Kart. How can it be bad? So you keep playing it, and you keep playing it, and eventually you just grow disillusioned. And there was that, and then there was also the fact that it was 2003, and I was going through my growing pains, the early 20s. I'm too old for this shit, right? I better move on to something else. That I think a lot of people on the DK Vine forum and on the staff have gone through, and then eventually you overcome it, and you come back, and you do things like Forum Watch. But at the time, I kind of gave up on Mario Golf, and I was still, involved with
Mario
DK.
Kart.
Yeah, sorry, I was thinking about Mario Golf because it's a much better game. It's my coping mechanism. No, so, of course, I was still involved with DK Vine like 6 months, 7 months, 8 months later, we launched Donkey Kong Universe.
On May 10th, 2004.
Yeah, so it's not like I was ever away, and I would still play new games here or there. My streak was broken, and it was kind of a private shame because I didn't really talk about it in the forum, and it every now and then I would try to go back to it.
I gotta ask you.
Yeah.
Is that story you tell on the conversation about swearing to play every sequel to Donkey Kong Country as a child, having just played it, is that a true story?
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
Growing up prior to Donkey Kong Country, I had always wanted to do that. Like I knew Mario was out of my hands because there was far too many. And this is prior to the internet, so there was no way I could keep up or even research what had been released. So it was just like, oh, that would have been nice had I been old enough to be around when Mario started, I guess, with arcade Donkey Kong. So, and the thing was, there were a couple of times where I'm like, maybe this should be the series I follow, till death. And it just never held, either they never held my interest. I think like Earthworm Jim was maybe a possibility there.
Really?
But I think I played it for 3 days and grew bored.
Okay.
So
had me a little concerned there.
Donkey Kong Country came about, and it appealed to everything I ever wanted in a video game, even things I didn't realize I wanted, and it was just like tailor made for my sensibilities. So yeah, I was like, this is it. I'm gonna stick with this series, and that kind of devotion only grew as Donkey Kong Land came out, and then Donkey Kong Country 2 just sealed it. It was just, there was no escape at that point. Anyway, so yeah, I was still involved with DK Vine through 2004, and I never really went away. There was periods of inactivity. I think 2009 was the most pronounced. I was barely on the forum at all.
I believe 2009 is the year with the least forum activity.
Yeah, I there'd be several months where I didn't even show up on DK Vine. The whole, basically I missed the whole period of nuts and bolts. I was around for when the teaser video aired, and then when they announced it was nuts and bolts, I came in and I defended it kind of half-heartedly, and then I kind of just wandered away again. And I swear, if it was just huge coincidence that I stumbled onto the DK Vine forum. There's a Sunday night before E3 2010, and that's when the whispers of returns started, and it just tapped into something long dormant, and here I am today.
Well, on the forum watch.
Exactly. So,
man, but yeah, coming back in that day in 2010. I believe you joined us in a AOL chat room for E3, did you not?
I was there, yes, and I think it was one of the last AOL chats. We were talking about the slush fund, and trust
me, I'll get us back to the
Okay, I was going to say, did I just...
I have in no way lost track of...
I was hoping I definitely changed the topic without you realizing it. I was hoping I out-podcasted you. Yeah, I think it was one of the last AOL chats, because I remember those were a staple of... the buyout years.
Actually, Carla Gurney kept them running with quite a dedication, because basically if she didn't start the chat wouldn't get started.
Mm-hmm.
And we basically were ambivalent as to whether there was a chat or not. But if Carla was going to start it, then yeah, we were going to hang out with each other.
That's cool, yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely never as lively as it was during the buyout, because back then the forums were just so much more cliquish.
They were, yeah.
They were cliquish, and people had formed friendships on the forums that had lasted years at that point and had basically been taken off the forums. So it was just this whole fucking weird kind of... It was kind of like the high school of DK Vine.
DK Vine, the high school years.
The high school years, yes.
Yeah, it's weird, because I guess that would make me Principal Belding. Because I was honestly, I was kind of outside of most of that. I was I think just by virtue of being the site co-founder, I could kind of waltz in wherever I wanted and join it. And stuff went on without me, and I didn't care, but it was just I never paid much attention to what was going on as far as the cliques and the friendships and the rivalries and the feuds, and it honestly, it didn't interest me, and it wasn't why I was there. And I know that probably makes me a terrible moderator, but
well, no, you're an administrator.
Yes, but it's same thing. If things get out of hand, I've got to step in. Which, honestly, I mean, I rarely do. I'm so forgiving, and when it comes to my people misbehaving badly on the forum, that I will give people the benefit of the doubt more often than not. But I'm usually one of the only ones who do so. So
there was a day, I believe it was in December of 2008, that you actually really had to break bad on Bindolin.
Yeah,
you remember that?
Vaguely. I don't remember a lot about that period. It's funny because, everything since Returns is crystal clear. Everything from the early days is a lot clearer. It's those buyout years where, and I think a lot of that's the haze of depression, going through the mid-20s depressive spiral. So it kind of cast everything in this weird haze, and don't have a lot of fond memories of those days. But I do generally remember. I completely forgotten about it until I think you pulled it up. I think it was in the Smash Brothers retrospective, or somehow, or it came out in one of your recent historical exposés. But yeah, I basically the guy just I was probably having a bad day. I'm sure I was, because one side effect of depression that isn't often touched upon is anger. When you're at the end of your rope and somebody brushes up against said rope, you desperately want to use the rope to strangle them. I'm terrible with the analogies today. I apologize.
Yeah, that's barely an analogy.
Well,
but it's handy. It works. Works for me.
yeah. Anyway, yeah. It just my mentality at the time, and I'd still subscribe to this a little bit, but if you don't want to be on the website, why are you there? Why are you there?
That's exactly what you said. Yes.
So many people around that time, and to this day, but especially around that time, it seemed like a lot of people were shit talking DK Vine on DK Vine. I mean, granted, yeah, the forum was ridiculous in those days. The website was just a cesspool of negativity and bitchiness and really catty behavior. But maybe being above that or not part of that as much as I should have been made me blind to it. And I was just, I don't know. This was around the time that people from the DK Vine forum submitted DK Vine to Something Awful's Weekend Web.
Ah, yes.
Which pissed me off because, like, I feel like if you are part of a community, then you should, unless you're a fucking troll, you are part of that community. You should uphold that community. You're a pseudo family with these people, and it felt I don't know. I felt like we were sold out, so that was still fresh in my mind. And yeah, I was just I don't even remember what Ben Lin did, but I banned him, and honestly, I don't really regret it.
Yeah, that was actually kind of a big event for the forum because you moved Mark Mazay, or is it Mazai? However the hell you pronounce it, who was originally a news updater and merely a moderator. In the aftermath of that thread, you gave him an administrator position, and that was also the thread you brought Carla on as a moderator.
Oh, really? Is that when it happened? Okay.
That was a huge shakeup in forums administration.
Yeah.
Banner day.
Yeah, I remember. I just remember for a couple of years after the Renaissance that every E3 we would introduce like new moderators or we would promote moderators to administrators when we were really like gelling the new staff, the current staff together.
Right.
So obviously we don't do that. We haven't done that in a year or two because there's really nowhere else to promote. And I know Carla, like back in the day, we offered her an administrator role and she turned it down. She's fine being a moderator. So we've offered to even have her write for the main site, and I don't think she's ever really bit. So
unfortunate.
We were desperate for a female perspective, and now we just mock ourselves for not having one, which works out just as well. So long as we're cognizant about it, I don't really care.
And there are those 2 conversation episodes so far with Janelle.
Yeah, and we're actually bringing Carla on for a segment, I think.
All right, with the Silverbacker program.
Yeah, so she'll have to contribute something. Yeah, so and I know, like, I always play like the good cop to Chad's bad cop, and part of that just our personalities. Chad is a lot more quick to strike down the lightning bolts from on high, whereas I'm much more give peace a chance. You know, can't we all just get along, kumbaya? That's our personalities. Like, we're just I'm kind of adverse to conflict, and but you can push me too far. So
yeah, I think that was I think that thread was quite a surprise for a lot of people because we've never really seen anything remotely like that from you.
Yeah, Chad called me a hippie earlier today, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's just
kind of a yuppie hippie kind of split going on there. Kind of some class warfare shit.
I would call Chad a yuppie. Chad is a yuppie. I'm okay being the granola munching I hate sandals though, so actually never mind about the sandals. But
no, do you hate sandals? You hate all types of sandals?
I don't like having my toes exposed. If I'm gonna go barefoot, that's one thing, but to have this kind of half shoe that serves that leaves the front of my feet exposed, it's madness. It's just like the worst of both worlds. No.
Now, how do you feel about those fucking toe shoes?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You've never they're like gloves for your feet.
No.
And they're supposed to breathe really well and no.
No, I can't imagine I'd be a fan of those either. Just give me a comfortable pair of sneakers and I'm good to go. Or at the most, I'll wear hiking shoes when I go hiking.
Oh yes, good ankle support.
Yes, yeah. Anyway, what are we talking about shoes, Sam?
I think that's your fault. We were trying to talk about Donkey Konga 2.
Oh, fucking Christ.
Ah.
Wait, let me tell you what I think about Crocs, Sam.
I was just about to bring up Crocs, but
no. I really wish Crocs would be the next Donkey Kong game. That's how I feel about Crocs.
is that a sequel to Croc, The Legend of the Gobos?
I was making a Kremlin joke. I have no idea what you're referring to.
Oh, you never played Croc? That was it was a 3D platformer on the PlayStation. Probably the best 3D platformer on the PlayStation.
I never owned a PlayStation.
Ah, unfortunate.
I saw no need because I had an Xbox. Well, you're talking about the original PlayStation.
The original.
I was too much of a Nintendo fanboy at that point to break away. Because I mean, why would I buy a PlayStation when Rare was with Nintendo? It's just like I know like part of my gimmick is I'm a Donkey Kong absolutist and like Donkey Kong Universe absolutist. Like nothing else matters. But honestly, the time I have to play video games. It's not much, so I'm going to use it playing what I like, and that's going to be Donkey Kong Universe.
Definitely, because basically your video game time is split between actually playing video games and then talking about video games. And the talking about video games just sucks up so much time.
Yeah, I don't understand how these games journalists do it, where they play everything, and yet then they like write about it and talk about it, and just...
Well, I think a lot of games journalists don't actually play through much of the games they review.
No, see, that's a shame. You've got to get the whole experience.
Seriously, I mean, how the hell are you going to comment on these things?
Yeah, I would imagine a lot of games journalists, that is all they do is play video games in their downtime, whereas I mentioned I'm a outdoors enthusiast. I go hiking, I go kayaking, I do all these things, and I can't imagine sitting on my ass all the time indoors playing video games. I think that would just be soul crushing.
Wow, you usually don't see a blend between the outdoor enthusiast and the video game enthusiast.
Well, why do you think I like Donkey Kong so much?
Ah, yes, the lush environments.
Yeah, exactly, and that appeals to me. And I think that's maybe controversial opinion alert. I think that's maybe why so many fat shut-ins don't like Donkey Kong. The fat like nerds who give it 6 out of 10. I think it's because they wouldn't know a tree if it hit them in the face. So
yeah, it's really bothered me. I've been spending a lot of time on NeoGAF these days. They seem to be pretty positive about Tropical Freeze, at least the Nintendo fans. But there's just so much enthusiasm for New Super Mario Bros. U. And no matter how much they go in depth about it, they can just never sell it on me.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, and I think I'm not gonna sit here and call people who like Mario over Donkey Kong stupid.
No, that's for your other show.
No, because that would be an outrageous opinion, and I would look like some sort of ridiculous asshole if I did that.
No, I couldn't have that.
I would say that maybe they lack perspective. Maybe they don't have any sense of humor, and therefore when a game is slightly... Well, when they think that the height of humor is meow, then it's something like Tropical Freeze, or let's go back to the Rare days where all the games were just chock full of dry British wit. I think that just goes over their head. I don't know. I'm not saying they're stupid, because I wouldn't do that, because that would be wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm just like Karl Rove. I'm just putting suggestions out there. I'm not saying they have brain injuries. I'm not saying it. But I think we can ask the question.
Well, I think there's a lot of merit in these unfounded and speculations you're throwing out there. But
that's really really hard too about trying to have DK Vine be a respectable site nowadays. Like we still have that sense of anarchy, but we have a Facebook page with 25,000 likes right now.
Nice.
And so we've got to keep it broad and all encompassing, while at the same time kind of poking the eye of the man a little bit. So I've got to use qualifiers like in the day I just would have called everybody who likes Mario over Donkey Kong, a moron. But I can't do that nowadays. I can only make the suggestion.
Yeah, 'cause that's a world of difference right there.
Yeah, it's all political now. Running fan sites. Man, I miss the free-spirited days of the late 90s, early 2000s.
Ah, yes, with such great sites as Rare Extreme.
I miss when the biggest thing the biggest puddle of piss in your cornflakes was Rare Extreme said something stupid, and it's like, how dare they? The nerve of them! It felt like we were all like bratty children competing for the attention of Rare. Like, no, we're your favorite. We're your favorite. That's really what it was. Like, because when DK Vine launched, like the site that was around before us was something like RareNet or something.
I believe it was, yes.
Yeah. We hated RareNet, and it was a good site. It was a fine site, and they had a lot of enthusiasm for Rare. We would love them today.
And I believe Andre wrote for RareNet before you brought him onto DK Vine.
I don't know where Andre came from. I can't follow. I think he came through Ben, but I don't. Andre's always been an elusive man of mystery for me. International man of mystery.
Wow.
Is he Russian? Is he Australian? Is he Canadian? I don't know. Andre is just a myriad of nationalities and possibilities. So
he has a new Facebook page.
He does. I'm really pleased. So many people have liked it already. We promoted it on DK Vine's Facebook. Promoted it and went from 22 likes to 200 something in a matter of 12 hours. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was it was a feeling of power for me. I don't really give a shit about Andre, but I felt good about myself. So it's hard because I'm trying not to be my conversation personality, but I'm holding a microphone.
Yeah,
I'm recording audio. Yeah. It's the problem I'm sure Stephen Colbert is going to have when he takes over for Letterman. It's like, how do I not be Stephen Colbert the character? How do I?
Oh man, that's going to be interesting to watch.
I'm dreading it. Anyway, that's I like Colbert as is. He's I think the most important master of satire we've had in the last half century at least.
What I love about Colbert is when he'd get a guest in, and it would be a friendly guest, and they'd go to do their interview, and they'd just kind of be bullshitting back and forth, and then Colbert would hit them with a valid point that was entirely in character, but also completely sincere.
Yes.
And they'd actually have to think about it and deliver an intelligent answer. I feel like he was probably the best interviewer on television.
Honestly, I agree. I've heard people say that Colbert's interviews aren't that great. I disagree. I will go out of my way to watch a Colbert interview where I will usually change the channel before Jon Stewart sits down with his guest.
Oh man, usually I'm not the biggest fan of the Comedy Central paradigm, but I would always tune in after the opening monologue just to catch the interview.
Really?
Yeah, that was what Colbert was to me.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, there's still 6 months or so.
Oh man, it's always hard to see a good site go. A good
site.
I was thinking about how I was going to tie this back into DK Vine and got ahead of myself. Ugh. Mm.
Yeah, I hear Colbert is actually starting a webcomic, and that's why he's quitting.
I really think you guys would have found a lot of financial success with that comic had you stuck with it.
Yeah, I mean, I could see us making a living off of it at least.
Definitely.
Which is my biggest regret about letting it go. And I love world building, and I love creating. Well, obviously, I love watching a fictional universe grow and build. And
you built a fictional universe out of DKVine.com.
In a way, we have. Yeah. Well, what do you mean fictional?
The epic cock and bull story.
Okay. Yeah.
Bob O. Friend.
Real guy, by the way.
What's he like?
He's exactly like you would imagine. He's a pervert and he's disgusting, but and he was an old man who died and was inhabiting Chad's digital camera. It's perfectly logical, and you shouldn't question it.
Gotcha. And the duck?
Wanky?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Wanky's more Matt and Jeff's friend. I have no qualms with Wanky though. He's a good lad.
Well, I think it's great that there's all these characters in the DKVine.com lore. I love that there's just so much site lore.
Oh, you're right. They are characters, all right.
Well, they're characters in the lore, but, Andre is a character in the lore, Aussie Ben, Say, Lanky David, Chaos Heart.
Well, yeah, there's the main site lore, and then there's the forum lore, and sometimes they intermix, but it's the forum is the Wild West. We don't have much say over what happens there, at least what develops. It's kind of outside of our creative realm.
Definitely. You started these forums in the year 2000.
Yes.
Now, was it always your intention to start a web forum?
No, at least not for me. And honestly, I don't know if Chad. I remember we were both kind of blasé about it, which seems ridiculous now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I think for us, DK Vine started out as just a way for us to get our ideas down, and we really didn't care so much about letting others share it in the fun. It was more of our just pet project, and I think especially you have to understand it was a different era back then. The internet was just crowded with fan sites.
Right.
It was just like, why have a forum? We just want our fan site to stand out, and hopefully a lot of people will like visiting it. And now it seems like, of course you have to have a forum. You have to, have a Facebook page. You have to get people involved. And this was before social media was even a thing. So
this was before Web 2.0 was even a thing.
Yeah, and I think now we view ourselves in a self-important role of we are the heirs to that legacy. We have to keep that spirit alive. We are the last men standing, preserving the spirit of Rare and the spirit of that era of the internet, which has been kind of quashed by more corporate websites and corporate-run wikis, and there's really no sense of individualism on the internet anymore.
It's super unfortunate. Just that move from MySpace to Facebook, and just how much more standardized Facebook was than MySpace. I mean, you could make a MySpace look good. You could put fucking music on it. But Facebook, it's pretty much just Twitter, except I'm not limited to so many words.
Except I can write 7-paragraph essays on banana birds. Yeah,
exactly.
It's which is incidentally why I do not run the Twitter page. That's Jeff, because I cannot be limited. But it's just frustrating and maddening, and I have too many things I want to say, and no, I can't do Twitter. I've tried. It's awful.
You can't even update the DK Vine front page without breaking it with so much text.
Yeah, I'm going to work on that. I've already told the others we need to not write as much, and I'm more guilty of that than others. It sometimes we forget that. What browser do you use?
I use the iOS browser on my phone.
Safari,
I suppose.
Yeah. Okay, because it's always broken on Safari, but
it's broken on Safari. It's broken on Internet Explorer.
Yeah. Well, we're proudly not optimized for Internet Explorer. When we went through the site redesign, Chad desperately tried to get it working on the three main browsers. Chrome worked first. Firefox worked second. No matter what he did, he could not get Internet Explorer to work, so he just said, fuck it, we're better than Internet Explorer.
Even though I believe Internet Explorer is still the world's most popular web browser.
Yeah, but I think most of the audience we reach would not be using Internet Explorer. I think I think anybody who goes to DK Vine is a little bit more web savvy than that, so our audience, I don't think it matters so much. I don't think your aunt, your great aunt who plays Bejeweled on Facebook or whatever is going to get on DK Vine anytime soon. So I think we're good.
Well, my personal great aunt actually played Donkey Kong Country all the time.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I don't know if I have a great aunt. Honestly, she might be dead. I don't really pay attention to my family.
Have to check the obituary.
No, most of my family lives in Pennsylvania, so I'm just I'm a terrible relative because I have no idea what's going on with them.
No, Pennsylvania is quite a distance.
4 hours. It's not bad.
Fuck that. 4 hours, and you got to go through. Man, just fuck that. Just driving north at all. I mean, just if you got to drive anywhere, drive south.
I like driving. It's zen like for me. It's when I come up. It's like some people get great ideas in the shower. I get great ideas when I'm driving. Just listening to music and kind of zoning out a bit.
Good thing to do while you drive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't want to pay attention to the road or anything. I get a lot of great ideas for DK Vine. That's where the Hall of Fame came from. Was a long drive, and I thought, I think I was listening to music or whatever and thinking of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and just thinking that would be really nice to have something similar, but for Donkey Kong characters. And that ridiculous idea became the Hall of Fame, which incidentally, it really excites me that we decided the first year would be closed off to us, and we invited Rare staffers to vote, which was really cool that everybody we asked participated. But it really made me. We opened it up this year to everybody who wanted to vote. It really blew me away how many people got excited about it and participated. And
I think we're all definitely excited to see the final results.
Yes, which by the time this episode goes up, they will have been revealed.
Most definitely will have been revealed. Definitely no spoiling it for me now.
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. I would have it no other way. So, man. Oh, right. Donkey Konga 2. But no, seriously. Does it bother you that people keep getting on your case?
It doesn't bother me. No, they should. It bothers me that I haven't beaten it yet, and it's kind of a stalemate right now. It's just like, how do I get past this? Honestly, I mean, there's a great level of procrastination involved because it is not a fun game. It is not a fun experience. There are games that are very, very challenging. Tropical Freeze is one. Very, very challenging, but you cannot wait to try again.
No, yeah, you love the experience of playing.
Donkey Konga... The bad thing about Donkey Konga 2 is the difficulty level is just ratcheted way up from Donkey Konga. Donkey Konga, you could actually bluff your way through it fairly easily. You could it was more forgiving. Donkey Konga 2 is just a sadist designed it.
You know what I think that might be? I know rhythm games are much more popular in Japan and had been for much longer. So I bet that Japanese fans complained about Donkey Konga 1 being too easy. So they were like, okay, we're really going to go all out for the sequel then.
Yeah, maybe. Although sometimes they tone down the difficulty when it comes overseas. To my chagrin. But for this game, yeah, they should have just... I don't fucking care. I just want to be done with it. And I have rationalized that I don't need to do as much as I promised I would do. The beat mix modes, I don't need to do them because you don't actually unlock anything. I can just get silver medals basically for them, and I'll consider it beaten.
Now, I'm interested what you're going to do when you get to one of the Microsoft games with achievements.
Achievements? I mean, I'm just not going to worry about achievements. I'm just going to play the game. I think, like, there's the 100% completionist model, and then there's I'm going to beat the game model. And I think so long as you can play most of the content, then that should count as beating it. So long as you can experience the game.
Definitely.
So I'm not when I first beat Donkey Kong Country, I didn't do it 101%. I since went back and got 101%, of course, but I still considered it beaten. And granted, I was younger and probably less OCD than I am now, but...
Well, there wasn't really that draw to 100% it because there wasn't any kind of secret levels.
No, there wasn't. I didn't 101% it until I beat the Lost World in DKC 2, and... You know, I think it's fine. I think it's beating the game is it's all in the eye of the beholder. It's how much do you want to beat it? And fortunately, I do take pride in setting out to do something, and I'm not someone who quits very easily. Obviously. It's why I would have kept going with Greenporn City, even when we were just miserable doing it. I felt like there's an obligation there. Once you start something, you've got to follow through. I will beat Donkey Konga 2, and that's actually something, like, every time I have free time or a day off, I'm like, I need to play Donkey Konga 2. I'm not just giving lip service on the forum. It is actually haunting me. Like, I need... It's over my head, and I would love to move on to so many interesting games to play and talk about, and some I've never played before. I would love to get to them. I think the best solution, and it's one Jeff pitched to me, is he would play the game with me, because it's the duet mode that's giving me trouble, because it's almost impossible to play a single player, because you can read the slush fund Donkey Konga 2 on the DK Vine forum. I won't bore you with the details, but basically they handicap you severely, and I don't mean like they give you a handicap. They fucking break your legs trying to play it single player. So Jeff has played it, and I need somebody capable and somebody who's experienced with Donkey Konga to play it with me, to get me through it. I'd have to meet Jeff in person, and try to do it with Chad. Well, it was a repeat of Greenporn City, let's just say. He gave up after about 20 minutes.
Man.
And he would not touch it again.
Although you were recording for your upcoming Let's Play with Each Other series, were you not?
Well, we recorded some of it, and what we recorded was what we recorded. We also played some off camera. That's where the frustration really stemmed. I think by the time we got to Let's Play, we decided we'd go more for the comedy angle, much to my dismay. But, which is why we also did a Let's Play series on Donkey Kong Country 2, which will be coming up sometime after E3.
Which we're all wildly excited about.
We actually played through Donkey Kong Country 2 102%. Did running commentary on the whole thing, which I normally hate with playthroughs, but we decided there's already quality playthroughs of Donkey Kong Country 2.
Right.
So we might as well give the DK Vine slant on it.
Were you the Dixie?
I honestly don't remember.
Oh, sorry, dude. That was fucked up.
No. No, I may have played this Dixie, but
oh, man.
It was last October. I don't really remember who played whom.
Right. Because you were rattling out those facts about ancient DK Vine history earlier, but go back to last October, and suddenly it's all murky. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything more. There may have been things consumed and drinks kicked back.
Well, if you started with Donkey Konga 2, I hope there were drinks kicked back.
I think that's where the drinking started. Yeah.
And it's so unfortunate. We all complain and jokingly complain on the forums, but we all really, I think, admire that dedication. It's really a testament to you, because you could just lie. There's literally nothing stopping you from just lying. Nobody would ever call you on it. Nobody would ever know. So it's the fact that you're still on it, and that we trust that you're still on it, is just a testament to your uprightfulness.
Well, the thing is, DK Vine's always bandied about by the staff as a parody site, which I don't think is completely honest. It's an absurd exaggeration of a fan site, yes. But we are all genuinely fans of what we're talking about. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing it.
Right.
I can't have all this trivia on the ins and outs of the geography of the Congo jungle, or banana birds, or banana fairies, or banana sprites rattling around in my head if I wasn't a fan. And so, first and foremost, I always write as a fan, and then the comedy, I think, will come through. I don't set out to write something and say, this is going to be entertaining and funny. I set out and write something as a Donkey Kong fan, and I just hope it comes out right in the end.
Gotcha. What would you say are your biggest influences in the realm of other websites?
It's a good question. Honestly, I'm not sure at this point. I definitely think, as of now, personally, I don't have any influences. I mean, it's Rareware, right? It is Rare, WHERE.
Rareware?
Yeah, it's Lee Loveday. That would be I think now that's the only influence we have is getting back to that kind of absurdist worldview when it comes to video games, especially since Rare has been corporatized and it's been given that bland corporate makeover, and that was a dark day.
I believe that's actually happened in shifts, because I was reading back at the onset of Donkey Kong Universe in 2004.
10-year anniversary, yeah.
No, yeah, it's the 10-year anniversary.
It was actually in May, but so I think all of us are just now realizing, since E3 is a month later, that, it's the 10-year anniversary of the Neon takeover, and Donkey Kong Golf, and all of these other great moments in sight lore.
But luckily, coming up on August 22nd is the 15th anniversary of the original DK Vine.
Well, you say the original DK Vine. I consider it an unbroken lineage. I don't consider them... I consider it from the original days of Chad, me, Ben, and Andre, and our friend, to the new staff, to the Donkey Kong Universe days, to DK Vine today. I consider it all one big history.
Oh yes, definitely. It was always maintained at the same URL, always basically maintained with the same vision.
Yeah, I think even when it was down, there was still like a forum somewhere.
Yes, DK Vine 2 on CJB.net. That was actually opened by Blab from YBK.
Oh.
Ironically enough, yeah, because there was that one that one April Fool's joke the site did, and I think it was 2001, where you guys had like a site war with YBK.
That's right, yeah.
And there's always that kind of sniping between you guys, and it's just funny that at one point he was the owner of the DK Vine presence on the web.
Honestly, I was never really involved. That was that all came from, I think, Chad and Ben, Aussie Ben.
Oh, right, with the YBK.
Yeah,
stuff.
I never had much of a creative hand in that. I think I was I honestly, I don't even remember what I was doing at I know like the whole Pokemon's Cleffa, Wigglytuff,
Pokemon Bonanza.
Yeah, that came from that was the brainstorm of me. I think I pitched that we would become a Pokemon site for a day, and then Chad and Ben ran with it.
Man, did they run with it.
So, yeah, I actually didn't write any of the content for that to keep it authentic as possible. I actually set that day out.
Well, I suppose a lot of it was flash animated by Ben.
Yeah, I don't know if Ben animated that or if it was Chad. I mean, Ben was a great flash animator. He still is, I guess.
Did he animate Mayamuki Rokieto down?
He did. That was all Ben. We all pitched in ideas for it. I still don't even understand what the fuck that was, but I love it all the same. See, Chad and Ben were really into Pokemon, and by that point I'd already started falling out of Pokemon, so they were like into the anime, and I found the anime, again, off-putting and just weird, but not as weird as some anime. It was more accessible. But I still, the drops of sweat when you have extreme close-ups on characters, and it's just like, why are you sweating? You need a stronger deodorant or something. I don't know what's going on. Antiperspirant, you're just... It was weird because as much as Chad and I are seen as a team nowadays, back in those days, a lot of times I would be off doing my own thing, and it would be Chad and Ben as more of a dynamic duo. Yeah, the whole Chad and Hyle thing was only a short window of time, really.
Wow, when you really think about it, yeah. Because he came on the staff in 2000.
2001. He was involved with the site in 2000, but he became a staff member on January 1st, 2001.
And Andre was maybe like 6 months later?
Yeah. So
okay.
Pretty much from that point, I didn't do much tandem writing with Chad. Chad and Ben did a lot together. A lot of times, like if I would write something, and if I would need like illustrations for it, because this is kind of... I don't know if Chad even had Photoshop in those days, but I would like, hey, Chad, can you draw something, whip something up for me for this? I'm only now getting my wings when it comes to Photoshop, and it's still quite crap compared to Matt. Matt's outshining Chad now as the Photoshop wizard. Cameron's excellent as well, so I'm trying to keep up and just kind of hold my own a little bit. So I'm teaching myself Photoshop bit by bit by bit.
I was actually practicing my rudimentary Photoshop skills the other day. I was trying to make neon avatars.
Oh, that's right. Something I tried to do once and just gave up because I do not have a steady hand.
No, it's ridiculous. If you do not have a steady hand, it takes so long because you can't just get one big unbroken line because you're gonna fucking jiggle it somewhere.
Nice thing about not having a steady hand is you can type a lot faster. But you ask me to draw something and it's gonna look like shit.
You know, another thing that Chad and Ben did in the old days that you really never did was radio broadcasting.
Yeah. It was weird how detached I could be back in those days. I think I didn't have a quality microphone, and I wasn't gonna spend what little income I had, mowing lawns or whatever I did back then to buy one. And I mean, that's money that could be used for video games. I'm not even sure how Chad had a good microphone when he had to go through the same process to get cash that I did. I was very limited by my setup in those days, so I was just the writer and not even a good one. I mean, I look back at that shit. I'm actually in the process, and I've just kind of derailed by our E3 plans, but I'm in the process of going through and polishing up a lot of the older games pages and whatnot to kind of meet a more modern standard of just punctuation. And I mean, I look back at those high school scribblings we did, and it's just why is this still part of the site? I understand from a historical perspective, we can keep the basic text, but let's just clean it up a bit, guys. That's my goal. I don't know how long that's going to take. It's either that or beating Donkey Konga 2. Take your pick. I don't.
Oh man. Well, honestly, I'd almost prefer the site work.
Yeah, but if I get through Donkey Konga 2, then I can play Conquer Live and Reloaded, or just Reloaded now. But I think that would be cool to really. The fun thing with ports is trying to reconcile how they exist with the original and how they can both be canon. I enjoy that quite a bit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are really, really looking forward to the Conquer Live and Reloaded slush fund.
Everybody's saying, how can you do it? You don't have access to live. Well, I can still play the multiplayer aspects. I just can't play them online. So long as I can see the cutscenes, I'm good.
You never joined in any of the DK Vine clans back in the day?
No. And again, I was too disinterested back then. That was really when my depression was taking root. So I was kind of closed off and just never joined in your reindeer games.
Would you say that distancing, was that wholly depression? Because I know you always came off as being a very private person. Your representation on the site was a giant floating question mark.
Yeah, there was that. I think part of it was back in the day knowing that anything you put on the internet is going to be linked to you forever. So create an alien. This was before social media too, so
yeah.
It's not like today that's a laughable concept, but back in the day it's like, oh, you create an alias and you do all the writing under that, and that way anything I do as Hyle Russell, the writer, such as Elvis Slick Monty or whatever, won't be attached to whatever madman was doing this on this Donkey Kong site. So there's definitely that privacy in the early days. Of course, I've given that up since. I do keep the Slush moniker on the forums out of tradition's sake because it looks weird that change it to Hyle. So
yeah, I'm never quite sure what to call you.
Whatever. It's like in my real life, people never know how to say my name, or they see my name and they think it's Kyle. So a lot of times I'll go by Kyle just to make it easier because again, I'm adverse to confrontation.
Oh man.
But yeah, actually, since Mario Kart 8 came out, I've been playing some online matches and it's fucking fun. So I'll definitely something I'm going to be making an effort to do more of. We're going to be organizing some official DK Vine matches and meetups, and we're going to try to make it like a weekly thing, promoted by the site itself, not just the forum. So
oh yeah, that's real exciting. It's great that these games that DK Vine covers we finally hit that right set of circumstances to really get a good online gaming culture going.
Well, especially for Nintendo. Nintendo's had shit online for so long that it's a bit... I don't really know what to do now that they have semi-capable online. Chad still bitches about it, but it works. It's
workable.
Yeah, it's honestly, I'm just glad you don't have to pay for it. I'm glad you don't pay extra. There's no Xbox Live charge, which was always a deterrent back in the day. Like, I never wanted Xbox Live. That's another reason I didn't take part in Conquer, because I was like, well, that's just a monthly charge that I don't need. Like, what? No, thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
I sound a lot more frugal with my money than I actually am, but
yeah, You're coming off like a Mr. Pinchpenny over here.
Yeah, no, I'm actually recording this while on a rented elephant, surrounded by 5 call girls and draped in solid gold. So I'm not frugal with my money whatsoever.
Are you still buying yourself Donkey Kong Universe games you haven't owned yet?
Oh yeah, I went through a period a couple months ago where I'd buy one a week, so I got a lot of the cameo games I didn't have, because you really have to get those within 2 generations or else the price is going to skyrocket. So I was like, I better, if Donkey Konga 2 is taking this long, I better start buying these games. So I've got a little bit more to buy, but I've got most of the biggies. And
does it fill you with sadness that all the Donkey Kong Country cartridges on the Super Nintendo are pretty much due to expire any day now?
Yeah, I mean, that's the passage of time. Honestly, it's something I never want to have to see. I know, like they say, plug in your cartridge and it charges the battery, but I am content just leaving my cartridges on the shelf. This is why I want them on the Virtual Console, so I can play them again. But I never want to plug in my old cartridges again because it would break my heart to see empty save files.
Yes, that would just be, it'd be like losing a child.
I feel like so long as they're on my shelf, those save files exist, and I can be blissfully ignorant.
How often would you say you play Donkey Kong Country 2?
I mean, honestly, it's for a while it'd be once a year, I think, and then since 2003 though, I don't know. Obviously I played it last October. Played the Game Boy Advance version a few times around. I haven't really played it too much in the last decade. No, that's not true, because I did play a little bit 2005 and 6, so I'd pick it up. Whenever I get excited about Donkey Kong again, I would pick it back up.
Whenever you falsely get your hopes up for a little while.
Exactly. So it's only been recently where I'm afraid to plug in my cartridge that I don't play it. And luckily I have the game on the Wii. Downloaded it before they pulled it, so I just want it on the Wii U so I can take fancy ass screenshots with the excellent Wii U screenshot software. You can you don't have to go through Miiverse, you can go through Google. You get high-res screenshots. It's fantastic.
It's great that Nintendo has that functionality.
Chad and I joke that they probably don't realize they have that functionality. It's probably a mistake and that there's going to be a future patch that gets rid of it.
Just like they're going to get rid of the hard drive expansion.
This is your chance to ask me anything, Saf. What have you always wanted to know about the history of the forum?
Anything about the history of the forum that I want. That's quite an opportunity.
What have you always wanted to know?
There actually is something I've always wanted to know. You guys always hinted back in 2003 that you had some insider knowledge of Saberman Stampede.
Ah, yes.
Did you?
Yes.
Is there anything else about that you could safely reveal?
No.
Unfortunate.
The thing about inside sources is that...
Well, I wasn't sure if it was, the sort of source. I didn't know if it might have been some fan site from some press outlet that's no longer existent.
No, we may or may not have always been, especially as the years have gone on, we've been in communication with people from Rare.
Oh, definitely recently.
Yes, recently we have, but there's always been... And they're very guarded. It's not like there would often be the case where we would get scoops or whatnot. And obviously, our stance was we would never run anything that we weren't given the permission to run.
Right. Basic operational security.
Yeah, so basically what we were told was that, I think this was when Saberman was still the racing game that we saw. Saberman Stampede. Remember, we saw the concept art with Saberman and like the purple gorilla.
Yeah, right.
And this is when we were getting that information from. So this was before it became the weird hunting and trapping game that it evolved into, which still looks very interesting. I played the hell out of it.
Oh yeah.
We basically just want to know if any rare characters from like the Banjo series or whatnot would appear, and we were told yes, besides Saberman. So I'm still kind of curious what there was to be found there.
Man, there's always that hope that more stuff will leak out.
Honestly, just seeing the stuff leak out, though, while it satisfies that curiosity, it's just depressing that we never get a chance to play it.
No, definitely.
So, like, seeing when all that stuff was leaking a couple years ago, it was just like, oh my god, this is so cool, and we'll never get a game like this.
Oh man, that Donkey Kong Racing stuff a couple months ago?
Yes,
I mean, that broke my heart all over again.
the Diddy Kong Pilot Fever Dream Edition with the Mario cast.
Oh man. Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. There's, God, so many great games that just never happened.
Yeah, it's really just, and I don't like to say. I like to choose my words wisely when it comes to talking about what's happened to Rare, because again, there are parties to blame, but I think like blaming Rare itself is the wrong move to make, because Rare is more than just a company. It's comprised of several highly talented people, and I don't like that they get lumped into what's going on. And of course, they have their boss now saying, "Oh, well, we want to make bowling games," and which is it's a pack of shit. I'm sure the newer members don't care, and the older members are happy to be employed when they are employed there. There's definitely that spirit of there's that old flame that still yearns to burn in Rare. That's actually what led to Kinect Sports Rivals becoming part of the Donkey Kong universe.
Oh yes, I was very interested to read those intimations.
The concept itself of Rare-themed DLC, that came from above, but the notion to actually make Mumbo a character within it was definitely a bit of a rebellion, I think.
Which is just awesome.
Yes.
It's awesome to hear that spirit's still alive, that someone's still fighting the good fight over there at Rare.
Exactly.
Man, I was kind of surprised that you guys ruled Kinect Sports Rivals as being DKU, because
we may not have, but it's in honoring what happened behind the scenes, and I wish we could say more, and I'm sure one day we will be able to say more about this.
Yeah, I'll come to you in another 15 years.
It's still a little, to pardon the term, fresh.
Oh man, because that reference is totally fresh.
If there's anything we love to do at DK Vine, it's running jokes into the ground and then burying them and then running them back. Well, I guess if we run them in the ground, they're already buried, so we dig them up and then run them in the ground again, and
just keep pile driving them just in and out.
Yeah,
like a jackhammer. But I was also surprised about Puzzle Swap. That was it seemed that at a certain point everybody just got tired of trying to figure it out, so the thread kind of
honestly the bad thing about trying to be more inclusive with DK Vine nowadays, which I get called out on and I try to force my views on people, which I don't believe I ever do. I just put them out there.
I wouldn't accuse you of that.
Thank you. But no, so when something is, when there is a bubble topic, like could this be DKU or not, well, it could honestly go either way. It's not just a matter of Chad and I saying yes it is and here's why. We kind of have to bring it open for discussion, and I think I was convinced right away that Puzzle Swap was DK. Once I saw the video, I was just like, yeah, there's no argument in my mind. It's just a matter of everybody else coming to the same conclusion, and I think eventually we all got there, or most of us got there, which is all that matters in the end.
You know, those might be the only 2 DKU games announced at E3.
Well, I think it's going to seem silly if you don't edit this part out when we get like 5 Donkey Kong games announced at E3.
Oh, it's possible. It's possible.
Honestly, I just want K. Rool and Smash Brothers. If they just announce that, if they just show K. Rool and Smash Brothers, this E3 is going to be made for me.
You're going to be upset if they show Ridley?
Yeah, because E3's not for Metroid fans. I thought we established this last year.
Oh man, but Ridley, everybody wants Ridley.
I honestly was confused. I thought they wanted Sigourney Weaver's character from Alien, and I didn't realize they were talking about the big monster boss for Metroid.
The huge monster boss that could never be scaled down.
Which, by the way, Metroid is nothing but a ripoff of Alien, so...
It's a ripoff of Alien. It's basically Alien meets the gameplay of Kid Icarus.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Kid Icarus was better. Except not really, that game's hard as balls. But, I'm almost more looking forward to the new character announcements for Hyrule Warriors than I am for Smash Brothers.
Oh, gee, I hope K. Rool's in that one.
Yeah, totally. But, I know that that's not likely to cause me to be upset, and it's not likely to cause the internet to catch on fire.
Yeah.
Because I know no matter what happens, there's going to be bitching somewhere. If it's Smashboards or if it's the official Smash Brothers Facebook page or what have you.
I've said this on the conversation, and I actually hate the pre-release period for Smash Brothers. There's so much anxiety and so much... It's basically, hey, let's take all the fan bases for every Nintendo franchise and then even some extra Nintendo franchises, the ones outside of Nintendo. Let's put them all in a room and just have them go at it. What do they all want in this game? And no, it's never going to please anybody. It's really, unless you're like a Mario fan, and even then they're bitching, it should have been so-and-so over Rosalina. And it's just, it's just... and then, I know if they announce K. Rool, I'm going to be like, great. And then I'm going to be like, well, what else could they add? And I'm never I should have been satisfied with Diddy, but I wasn't. I looked at Kirby and I was like, well, Kirby has 3 characters. Why don't we? And it just brings out the worst in people. And I remember when Melee came out, I was a little disappointed that Diddy wasn't in it, but then it was just basically Melee came and you played it, and there was none of that pre-release bullshit because Smash Brothers hadn't grown into the monstrous behemoth that just consumes all video game discussion for 3 years. It's gotten too big for its own good.
Yeah, I'm really wondering where they can go for another installment. I mean, it's just getting so big at this point.
I'm pretty sure Sakurai's done after this. I feel like he probably put it in his contract for this game. All right, fine, whatever. I'm done after this.
Just let me go.
And then Smash Brothers is gonna run into Mario Kart syndrome, where it's just gonna be made by people who don't understand what made the gameplay work in the previous games, and I think like this could be the last good Smash Brothers, at least for several generations.
Oh man, that's a disheartening thing to think about.
It's happened before. Mario Kart's just now finding its way back, and even then it pales compared to, Sonic and Sega, All Stars Racing, or even Diddy Kong Racing. It still hasn't matched Diddy Kong Racing, which people disagree. But again, morons. Anyway,
the kart racing standard. It's funny because I have a sister, she's like 4 years younger than me. And, we basically came up playing the same games together. But she's violently hateful of so many of the DK Vine classics that when I try to, bring these kind of conversations to her, she just, she gets all icy about, Donkey Kong Country 3 or Donkey Kong 64. It's,
Well, I think everybody gets icy about Donkey Kong 64. I mean,
I was sitting there and I was trying to play it and I was like, okay, I know I don't really enjoy this game, but I'm gonna try to look at the positives. I'm gonna try to look at what made me like it back in the day. And she just sat there and kept up a running commentary every solitary second, just fucking trashing the game, and I couldn't do anything but laugh and agree with her.
It's like writing in front of Chad.
Oh.
No, I have to write separately from Chad and then present him, because if we try to brainstorm together, he again, the way we operate, I have to present a fully finished product to him so he can see where I'm going. It's hard for me to pitch something to him. So we've gotten better about it though, and there's a lot less one-upmanship there. But
would you not prefer that? Would you prefer to not be presenting a finished product? Because I absolutely love in my creative pursuits when I'm able to just present a fully fledged idea, and that's the first impression my partner or audience is getting of it.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I do all the writing and then give it to Chad and he rubber stamps it. He then we'll take a second pass at it. That's usually the easiest way to sell him on something, is to show him a complete idea. And it doesn't always work, but I find my brain is always moving faster than I can get the thoughts out, so it's hard for me to actually pitch things to him without working up a proof of concept.
Gotcha. Let's talk about the new staff, the staff you brought on in this Renaissance.
Sure.
I thought it was really great that you guys brought on new blood, because it really contributes to that sense of newness, of an eclectic time going on these days, that there are these new voices that are... They're so differentiated from the DK Vine norm that we've come to know over the past decade.
Yeah.
So, let's just run down the list. Matt.
Well, he's fucking hilarious.
He's amazing. He's incredible.
The thing about Matt is that you will find yourself adopting his mannerisms when you talking with him online. He will have a habit of capitalizing certain words to emphasize them, and you find yourself doing that afterwards. He has a very contagious personality.
Yeah, he has a strong sense of voice.
He does. He's quite the unique personality, and I'll say this about everybody we brought on. We brought them all on because they all embodied a sense of the DK Vine spirit, all unique in their own ways, but we wanted people who would bring comedy to the table. For too long, DK Vine was just kind of, people saw us as this hypercritical, ready to lash out, like unhappy with everything. There's still people out there who, when they're discussing like Tropical Freeze, they say, I bet the people at DK Vine will hate this, thinking that because it's a Donkey Kong game not developed by Rare, we're going to hate it, as if that was our modus operandi. And I think what we wanted to bring a lighthearted sense back to DK Vine. We wanted to emphasize the comedy over everything else, at least initially. I think Matt was just the first choice. When we only knew him as Waddle DDD on the forums, it was just like, this guy, like, I don't know what his deal is, but he cracks me up. Yeah, I think he was Chad's first choice when we need to bring blood into the site, and so Matt's just a great guy to shoot the shit with. He's very, very. I mean, he's a kind man too. He's behind the weird sense of perversion he exudes. He's actually just a stand-up guy. So yeah, much love for Matt.
You know who else is like that? Scraps69.
I see. I've never really talked with Scraps. I'm gonna have the chance in an upcoming conversation here.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
For me, Scraps is just the weird Nelson Mandela invoking pseudo rapist who sometimes calls my show. So,
well, you have my reassurances that behind the scenes he is an utmost professional,
and he
was just a real pleasure to work with.
He also made a video of me being raped by Donkey Konga 2, which
yeah. Oh man, I can't wait to pull that one out in 10 or 15 years.
I actually miss Scrap's presence around the forum right now. He's on a sabbatical, and it's actually it's not. He gave his own unique perspective, so I miss having that around.
Definitely a hole in the forums that he has missed. So I've noticed that on the conversation, you seem to gravitate towards a de facto third host.
Yeah, a lot of that is just for convenience sake. Last year, Matt was the go-to host because that was what we established one week, and it was just, Chad can't make it this week. Matt, can you fill in? Or, we need to bring in a third host, and like Matt pitched us something that he wanted to talk about, so we'll bring in him. When Chad went through his sabbatical earlier this year, it was Jeff. And I think also it's who brings what to the table. Matt's going to bring just a slight sense of anarchy.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
There's no structure.
You can barely get things done when Matt's on, which is great. I wouldn't have it any other way.
So when you want to just have a more free-spirited comedy episode, you're going to bring in Matt. When you want to bring in the more anal, retentive, hardcore continuity discussion, it's going to be Jeff. Because Jeff shares that passion that I have. Which is why when Chad sat out the episodes around the release of Tropical Freeze, it only made sense to have Jeff be who filled in. And then we just had Joe on the other week.
Which I had been looking forward to. Which many of us had been looking forward to.
Joe's a really funny guy, and unfortunately he's also, I think, has the least amount of presence on the forums or on the site in general, which is something he wants to remedy, but
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Joe's always kind of elusive. He's kind of a social butterfly, so he's always out on the weekends. So
yeah.
So kind of wrangling the time. The hard thing about Matt and Joe is that they both live in the UK, so there's a 5-hour time difference to consider when we do anything with them.
That's one thing I've always loved about DK Vine is the international, I guess maybe not international, but the Anglosphere inclusive nature of the voice.
Yeah, it's we've befriended many of the Australian.
Yeah.
There's Aussie Ben, and then from him came our friendship with Alistair Craig, who's never officially worked on the site. He's worked on the Vine, and he's still working on the Vine, believe it or not. The Vine Donkey Kong audio program, that is. Yeah, and then we've got a whole mess of Canadians on the site, which is as exotic as a lot of places get.
Yeah.
Then being that we're we revolve around the burnout husk of Rare. Of course, we have a lot of readership in the UK. Also, Europe as well. We've got Germans, and I don't think we've really touched the more Slavic countries yet, but we're getting there.
Well, I feel like I've seen like a map of the internet, and I feel like the Slavic countries don't really intermingle with the more Western countries.
That would make sense because they're all vampires, and they can't come out during the day, so they're kind of limited by what they can do.
And it's just a shame about the Chinese government, or else you probably have billions more hits.
That's true. What's interesting from the Facebook page is there is a huge Donkey Kong audience in Latin America, in South America and Mexico, and I just wish we could cross that language barrier.
I tried to answer somebody's question the other day on the Facebook page. I haven't studied Spanish in many years. I haven't really spoken it, so I'm not sure if I understood the question or if they would be able to understand my answer.
That's actually my biggest personal regret, is that I've studied 5 years of Spanish and I cannot speak one full sentence of it. As somebody who likes to tell stories and really gets off on world building, and this has been the way I've been since kindergarten. I just loved creating scenarios and events and characters, and as somebody who's I've naturally gravitated towards English, so therefore stepping into a completely alien language for me is just terrifying. And especially doing it in front of other people when you're at your most socially awkward, is just a recipe for disaster. And then each year you have a different Spanish teacher, so the process of learning is kind of disrupted, and I'm just gonna have to buy Rosetta Stone software at some point and just teach it myself.
Download it into your brain.
Yeah.
I guess there's kind of always that contingent of Spanish-speaking Rare fans with Mundo Rare.
Mundo Rare, yeah, we struck up a good relationship with Mundo Rare, and I do miss them.
I think that was pretty much the only other fan site that DK Vine was ever close with.
Yeah, at least we're
I feel like I'm forgetting like a major one from way back in the day. I'll post it up with the episode when I put it.
No, we are trying to be more. We're trying to do a little bit more outreach now, and we're kind of striking up minor friendships with other communities. YouTube channels now, that's what you've got. Instead of fan sites, you've got YouTube channels.
Right.
So, but yeah, Mundo Rare we had a close relationship with, and Alberto, who ran it, he was a great guy, and he spoke pretty good English, so he could converse with us. And then Mark worked for Mundo Rare as well. So yeah, we... Man, when Mundo Rare went down, that was when the writing was on the wall that Rare wouldn't be the same.
Right, because they denied them their idea of filming a documentary.
Yeah, and had it been 1 year earlier, I could foresee it happening. It just, when the hammer went down after Nuts and Bolts,
it was over.
Yeah.
It was over. But the fucked up part is it was over, and we all told ourselves it was over, and we all said we were never going to trust Rare again, we were never going to believe again. And then yet somehow it feels like we managed to get ourselves up again. There's that banjo leak, and that got our hearts aflutter. There was the Christmas card, there was the Rare DLC, and it really wasn't a concrete hope, but it was more that stirring of just that vague hope. And then we managed to get fucking pounded down again.
What it is if you have a dying loved one and they're in the hospital.
Oh, this is going to be a wonderful analogy.
And they're in the hospital, and occasionally they'll twitch their finger. And you're just like, are they coming back to us? Are they coming back to us? And they don't. And, you wish you could just pull the plug, but unfortunately, it's not in their will for you to have that power. So you've just got to watch them suffer, basically. And that's the way Rare feels right now. And so occasionally they're going to twitch their finger again, and we're going to delude ourselves into thinking it's going to happen. Although it's going to be harder to do that now that they had those the layoffs and Chris Sutherland and Alcock, and it's hard to even want to support Microsoft again, although I will want to support whoever is left at Rare. So it's kind of this awful catch-22 if what do I do as a fan of these people.
Right. It's just rough. It's
because if I don't support the next Rare game, there's going to be more layoffs.
Yeah, then you're part of the problem.
Exactly. I feel bad that I didn't buy Kinect Sports Rivals.
I don't think anybody on the DK Vine forums has bought Kinect Sports Rivals.
A couple people have, because that's how we know what we know about it.
Actually, I believe most of them got their screenshots from elsewhere.
Oh, okay then. Well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because I know me and Rock were discussing this the other night, is that we don't think anybody actually owns Kinect Sports Rivals.
Well, stay tuned. 2042. That's going to be an awesome slush fund.
That is going to be an awesome slush fund. Those fucking Xbox One will be real cheap by then. Oh man! And somehow you brought it back to the slush fund.
Yeah, I do feel bad about that, guys. I promise. Like, seriously, as a Donkey Kong fan, I want to beat it.
At the time, that was pretty much the only outlet you were writing in for the site, more or less. And now we have the Facebook page. And
right, because that predated even us starting the Vine audio program, which gave way to the conversation.
Yeah, so, there's a lot more, you're producing a lot more content out there, so that fever pitch for the slush fund is a little bit ameliorated, but at the same time, it is something that we all want to see go forward. And
it's so weird that it has the following it has when it's not even watching me play the games. I'm not even recording myself playing them. You
don't even really do a strict playthrough kind of thing. You don't do like a read view.
I'm recounting the events that I deem important, and I mostly go on continuity tangents, and then I bitch if something is really just awful. Unfortunately, I got through all the interesting continuity bits of Donkey Kong 2 in the first 2 pages, and the rest has just been me bitching, me growing into despair, me not playing the game, and then people complaining that I'm not playing the game. So
it was always great when you get a letter from Dixie or something.
Oh yeah. And the thing about Double Dash was that inspired such anger in me that at least I went on to very, very spirited rants. Donkey Kong 2 is just inspiring apathy.
Yeah, man.
Because it's not like a blue shell comes out of nowhere and prevents me from beating a song. It's just the songs, the way they're structured,
you just flatly can't do it.
No, and I feel like I'm pretty skilled at the game, but the whole notion of this duet mode, playing it as one person, and I tried to bring my girlfriend into it. She couldn't do it. Chad flatly quit. I have to find somebody who's good at Donkey Kong 2 to help me, which is a tall order in any year, but especially 2014. But
might have to fly to Japan for that one.
Yeah, again, I think Jeff may be my only hope, and I think Jeff is somebody who wouldn't give up too. That would be. I don't know. We'll see. But if I can't do it myself, I may have to arrange a meetup. And there's been talk of something for the 20th anniversary this fall, maybe a DK Vine staff meetup. So maybe then. But I'm sure we'll have other obligations too. So
yeah, probably gonna be a whole lot going on the 20th anniversary.
Yeah, absolutely. What I'm dreading is the 20th anniversary of the site in 5 years. I'm not.
Oh man,
that's gonna make me feel fucking ancient.
Do you think you'll still be here?
Yeah. Chad and I think, are both lifers at this point. We're always going to keep DK Vine going. There's too big of a hole left when we went away, and we were always trying to fill it. Not with our other projects, because that was a wholly different experience. I remember I was always kind of trying to seek out something that could fill that DK Vine shaped hole in my heart, and nothing could. And I think coming to terms, hitting the age, what's really sweet is hitting the age where you don't have to be ashamed of playing these games anymore. It's not socially weird. You don't have to impress dude bros and frat daddies and whatnot. And being comfortable in your own skin finally. That's where the acceptability comes from, is not being ashamed of it and making that a part of who you are. And I like playing Donkey Kong games. I think they're badass, and fuck you if you disagree.
Hell yeah.
And that's I don't foresee us ever going out of that mindset. The only way DK Vine would ever go away is if there was a collapse of the electrical grid, a la the horrible NBC show Revolution.
Plane crash going to that DK Vine staff meeting.
Well, we'll leave it. We'll leave the site to somebody else in our will. I'm sure it'll be run by our friend and Helmost and Wanky and the Fonz. Of course, you can't forget the Fonz, one of the greatest DK Vine moderators.
Oh, Jesus Christ! The newest staff.
Yeah, you didn't finish. You didn't finish. I haven't finished giving my thoughts on. I think I touched upon Matt and Jeff, and I know. I actually didn't touch upon them. I've never touched upon them, but.
And then we just went spiraling out and out and out and out and out tangents.
Joe's a really fucking funny guy. He's actually a great impressionist. If you'll the very end of season 1 of the conversation, that's actually Joe doing most of the staff.
Oh, we were all wondering that. And
yes, Joe. I wish Joe would do more. I think he wants to as well. Cameron is brilliant. He is most of the new site layouts we've had, the special themed site layouts.
Oh, like for E3, Banjo-Kazooie, the new Tropical Freeze one?
The Tropical Freeze one is actually mostly Matt.
Oh, right.
But Cameron drew up plans for it. He just got super busy, so Matt had to come in. Cameron is just brilliant. He's basically, if Matt takes Chad's Photoshop skills and injects steroids, Cameron takes Chad's site design skills and really puts it over the top. Like, the site has never looked better than it has under Cameron's hand, and Cameron's also a really funny guy. He's very droll, and you don't see it coming. He's very, like, he saves his timing for when it counts. He's not just lobbing all of these jokes left and right, hoping one will hit you. He'll wait. He's like a Zen master of comedy. So
he's like a sniper.
Yeah. Cameron is I wish I had his skills of site design, because I really can't contribute anything there.
Although, the site has always classically been praised for its design.
Really? Because I know Chad is...
Are you talking about the black background thing?
Yeah,
I'm with you there. I mean, it's like staring at a light bulb if it's a white background.
Here's my thing. I associate white backgrounds, black text with corporate sites, with sites that have a business agenda to promote. I feel like the black background signifies that we're off the grid. We're doing our own thing, and we're not owned by the man. I feel like there's something a lot more comforting about it. It's easier to read. It's definitely you can do more with a black background than you can a white background. You can do more design wise.
Oh yeah, like with the neon avatars.
I know I'm portraying Chad as some sort of angsty, self-loathing guy who cuts off his foot despite his leg, but no, I think he wishes we had a more modern look. But I think the site is it is what it is, and we're definitely not where we were in 1999. So I think.
Well, it is a process, and
and I'm going to defend the black background. I would hate for DK Vine to have a white background, and I'm going to fight him tooth and nail on that for as long as I can.
That would be the day DK Vine died to me.
Yeah. Well, also, so much of what we've done was produced for a black background, so we would have to go in and it would just be a nightmare. You actually get on them, because I'm like, look, we're not doing anything with the main site right now. Why do we want to keep changing its design and functionality? We haven't done anything with what we have now. So let's actually use what we have, and then when the time is right, we can upgrade. But I feel let's take the time that we could be using for site design and use it to make content.
No, definitely, and it's unfortunate that the site has gone without text updates for so long. I always loved the features back in the day. I always loved when a feature would randomly be put up in like 2006 sometime. Someone would just get some wild hair up their ass and decide to write a bunch of paragraphs.
Yeah, when our friends started writing bitching about Brawl, that was really, really nice to have that site content. Even though that kind of fell through, at least he went back to finish it. I'm with you there. I definitely, if it was up to me, we would have a new site feature on a weekly basis. It's just...
writing, though, I mean, it's... Chad pegged it so well in that one conversation after the first forum watch about just how much easier it is to just talk.
Wasn't that me who said that?
It was you who said it the first time about you guys, and then Chad repeated it about me. Yeah, I have an encyclopedic memory about your show, but I cannot find any specific thing that happened. If it happened in a tangent, it could be in any one of a dozen episodes.
The thing about like having the conversation is that kind of it trumps all because it gets a far larger audience than any features. Definitely has an audience, and it's an audience that's growing with each week. Things like this because we only self promote. We don't get out there and say advertise like, hey, listen to the conversation here. We promote on our Facebook page and on the site, and that's about it. So it's kind of a tell your friends thing. So it's always gratifying to get messages from people who aren't members of DK Vine but say they listen to the show.
It's always great to get people on the forums who don't post like ever that still listen to the show.
Yeah, and there's a shocking amount of lurkers on the DK Vine forum. It's amazing that people occasionally they'll register, and we have to approve each and every registration because so many of them are spam bots, and they'll say, I've lurked here for years, and I finally will want to join the discussion. I think part of that too is we're not banning people left and right anymore, so it's not like I don't want to join this forum and then immediately get banned, and then it will ruin the forum for me.
Yeah, it's a lot less pressure. It's always interesting when reading an old thread and I see somebody who hasn't posted in a while. So I click through to their profile and I'm like, oh, I wonder when the last time they logged on was, and it's like 2012.
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, gotcha,
Yeah. And then, I got to wonder about the people who've been here but didn't log on to their account.
Yeah, thinking that the account may not be active or they forgot the password or, yeah.
Or even if they did and wanted to post, that their avatar would be gone.
Yeah, it's always exciting to see like Glancy or Say come back, and it's like, oh, holy shit, like Super Banjo was a name I hadn't seen in a while.
I was excited to see Jeremy come back.
Yeah, Jeremy. Yeah, I've been in contact with Jeremy. Obviously, I did put your mouth with him last summer, which, where's Sam? That's the question that's going to haunt us.
I can't believe it took you guys so long to put together Where's Samus? Because once you said it, it was so obvious in retrospect.
Yeah.
But nobody made the joke. Nobody was that quick.
Well, I think you've got to establish Where's Sam as a running gag before you can start altering it.
Oh, you had well established that. I feel like I've heard it several hundred times.
Yeah, and now we kind of have to be judicial in its use, where it's just do me a favor now that Jeremy's back. Don't bring up the Sam thing. Just let it go. I mean, you can still make the joke, but don't actually try to find out where the guy is.
Oh, trust me, that was one part of the site's history that I was not interested in ever pursuing. I just that's one thing I hate about this whole historicity concept is so much of the site's history, of the forum's history, is negative, and there's just so much like drama, and it's hard to really talk about like a subject and like link to these posts when it's arguments between people who are still posting here.
Yeah.
And you figure people are going to understand, but people see what they want to see sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm glad you never found the old post on the Nintendo Insider forum.
I tried. I was at it for a while.
Because basically I was the troll on the Nintendo Insider forum. I became the troll because nobody would take my ramblings about the Donkey Kong universe seriously. So eventually I just started like I don't know, like I would go into like Zelda discussions and start talking about Banjo-Kazooie and be like, yeah, Zelda's great if you haven't played Banjo. And it's amazing that their moderators never ban me. But I was so immature, and I was just it was like an ego that size could only have its own website to support it. It's
Man, it's.
But that's what we like. There had to be a DK Vine. We had to create it because we had to draw like-minded people in, and you kind of have to send up the flare, and
Definitely.
you can't just go into random forums that aren't designated around the concept and seek out people. You have to bring them to you. So it's kind of surprising we didn't want a forum for the first several months of the site.
Well, there was the letters column.
There was a letters column, and I think we were obviously modeling ourselves after Rare a little bit there. Oh, well, Rare has scribes. We're going to have a letters column. Oh, and letters columns were a thing, too, then. So it's just, like, the audacity, like, we had, like, oh, like, anybody's going to care enough to write to us, asking us questions. We're just fucking fans like you. Like, what the hell were we thinking? I hate looking back on that. I loathe what we were back then. Like, I want to smack our bitchy little teenage faces off. It just disgusts me. Like, what the hell? Like, seriously. Just, I mean, I know, granted, like, on the conversation, we take calls now, so I guess it's the same concept, but at least now we've had, like, 15 years of history behind us that we at least have a small pedestal to stand on. Like, back then, though, we were nobody. Like, we were, like, trying to portray ourselves as, like, scholars of Donkey Kong when we were people get on us on our fanon now, but we were making shit up and treating it as the gospel then, and that's something we, like, didn't stick with. But now it's like a take it or leave it thing. Like, oh, this is the way we think it happened. What do you think? But now it's like, oh, no, this is exactly the way it happened. And then something would come along that would contradict it. Well, actually, we meant this. And, fuck it. It's just, it is what it is. Nobody's happy with who they were in high school. If we all had the opportunity, we would imprint the us of today onto the us of then. But then you wouldn't be who you are today, right? So, upwards and onwards.
Do you ever feel held back by being so attached to that output you did as a teenager?
In what way? Like,
in the way that you established this kind of persona that these writings are still directly attributed to you. That
yeah, I don't feel held back. I feel unfairly maligned when DK Vine comes up on other websites, and the first thing they link to is my Donkey Kong 64 review.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, what the fuck? That's from 1999. Like, okay, link to a conversation episode. I feel like there's that anchor around our necks. Like, there's a certain segment that's never going to take us seriously because of who we were as teenagers. When we're grown-ass men who still behave like teenagers, but at least understand social cues better.
Completely ridiculous. It's so completely ridiculous.
So I did add a disclaimer to the Donkey Kong 64 review, and Chad as well, that I like to treat this as the ridiculous time capsule it is. Like, don't think like it would be like digging up a time capsule and blaming the. Well, actually, no, because it's still us. Like, it was still us. Like, I was gonna make a slavery comparison, like blaming society today for slavery back then. But it would no, we were the slaveholders, and we're still around.
I kind of lost the thread of that analogy.
I did. I mean, its thread is so hard to come by now that we don't have anybody picking our cotton. But
thanks, Obama.
This isn't the conversation. I've got to reel it in.
Hyle, wait. Speaking of, this is not the conversation. On the latest episode of The Conversation, you wouldn't do the jingle.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you do the jingle?
Oh, it's just that
we always do the jingle on this show, and it's not even our jingle.
It's just a silly thing. Like, it's the silly.
But it's so catchy.
No. I know it is. Look,
it's the best thing
not
ever.
to break character, I like the jingle. It's just the roles Chad and I play on the show, where because Chad came up with it, I am opposed to it, and he does the same things. It's just this this
I,
this
I,
idea.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I think it's so catchy that it would the fucking Grinch would walk around humming that
All
shit.
right, well, look, I'll never sing it on the conversation, but I will sing it. I will sing it for you here on Forum Watch. So,
Yes. Hit it.
if you hold on, I actually forgot the number. No, okay.
12814.
410, yeah, 5664. Okay. If you want to call the conversation, call 1281410 and a word.
Yes.
So, yeah,
Oh, thank you so much for
you're
that.
welcome.
But,
And once in a lifetime, right there.
Once in a lifetime, a Forum Watch exclusive. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. And honestly, like, the conversation roles we play, like the jokes, I always feel bad, like, when we get, like, the racist jokes and we play the buffoon. We try to go over the top with it as much as possible to portray the facts that portray the idea that we are idiots.
Yeah.
But then, like, things like the rape jokes, which is like the really hot button issue right now, and then you go to the forum and you're like, gee, I really wish DK Buying would stop making rape jokes. And I'm just like, personally, like, I feel like no comedy should be off limits so long as you do it right. And
Yeah.
I don't think rape jokes are a problem. This is really controversial. I think jokes about rape can be done, but when the joke is about someone in particular getting raped, somebody real, like, take a random girl and make a joke about her getting raped. Yeah, that's crossing the line. That's not funny. But somebody raping an ape, like, what?
Yeah, who's really harmed by that concept?
Like that, it's so ludicrous. We're not advocating rape. We're not even making light of it. We're not holding up the ape raper as a role model. Right? We're not.
And you're really not holding up yourselves as role models.
No, it's kind of finding that balance. Like, are we really playing characters? Well, I know I don't honestly believe any of the racist shit I peddle on the conversation, but I know it. The public face I'm presenting does. So it's the responsibility you have now that you didn't have before, especially running a site like this. It's kind of it's like what's acceptable and what's not, especially when your whole sense of humor shtick is nothing is out of bounds.
And it's so hard to disentangle the parts of you guys on the conversation. That's the persona, and where's the real core of that? Where's that precise boundary? It's a really interesting thing you're doing with this whole concept. I really love it.
Well, thank you. Like, I mean, it's just, I'm not fishing for compliments, by the way, but it's like I said, we've never really defined that we're playing hyper exaggerated versions of ourselves, because most of the stuff we say on the conversation is what we believe.
Right.
It's just
you're not really playing characters. You're not doing the Stephen Colbert thing.
No, we're just
you're just playing it up. You're playing to a certain. It's not really playing to a certain facet of your personality. It's manufacturing a new kind of facet.
The easiest way to make a point and to have people follow you is to be a complete idiot about it. Because then it's very hard to fake intelligence.
Yeah.
But it's very easy to be an idiot. And if the more over the top you go with it, the more delightful it becomes, I feel like. And I feel like it's easier to make a point when you have that buffoonery behind it. When you don't, just simple things like bitching about Mario Kart can get you crucified on the internet. Mm-hmm. So, the fact that we're doing it, but we're also we're making remarks about the Jews and the Holocaust. I mean, it therefore kind of disqualifies everything we're saying, but then you can take what you will from it and think on it. And it's like, well, what they said on the conversation about Mario Kart, I could hold some weight. Like, I don't know. We're just putting the ideas in people's heads, but we're not actually making a great case for anything.
I think the one of the things I recurringly hear about the conversation is people say that even if they don't always agree with what you guys are saying, that you always give them something to think about. You're always
Something profound, like why this Pokemon is just absolute shit in Smash Brothers. Like the really important
the
stuff.
stuff you walk around thinking about, that you look up at the stars and contemplate.
And that's one thing that's limiting about DK Vine, is that the concept is so narrow that we're getting a bigger and bigger audience every day, but how big? What's the threshold of that? Like, when are we going to hit the point where we cannot grow anymore? So that's always kind of in the back of your mind too. Like, we're not even a Donkey Kong website; we're a Donkey Kong Universe website, which is a notion that I still say has complete merit behind it, but the fact that you need a 7-page article telling people what exactly that is.
Exactly.
So I basically distilled it, like, on the Facebook pages, Donkey Kong Country and its spin-offs. And people are usually chill with that.
That's the elevator pitch.
Like occasionally when It's Mr. Pants will crop up on the Facebook feed, I'm sure people are like, what? But it's easy. Like, the further along you stray from it, that's when people have issues with it. Banjo, fine. Yeah, because generally Banjo fans are Donkey Kong fans. Even if you don't agree with the notion for some reason, you're going to like both.
Yeah, they're similar time period, similar gameplay.
Yeah, so, and you'll notice in the Facebook post I will make qualifiers. Like, I'll explain why I'm talking about what I'm talking about if it's not Donkey Kong.
Oh, yeah.
And so there's a lot of that. And you'll notice like 80% of the posts on the Facebook are about Donkey Kong or Donkey Kong Country or the Donkey Kong games. And then the other 10% are Banjo. Actually 12% are probably Banjo. And then everything else is kind of divvied up between the rest. Like Conker, I feel bad about Conker.
Yeah, seriously, because
Conker posts never perform as well as the others. There will be Ghoulies posts who perform better than Conker.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I feel like Conker has just really been hindered. It's not even a franchise anymore, really. It's 3 games that and one very different game from the rest, and one game that was just a port of the other game. So it's, I don't know. It's
defunct multiplayer.
Yeah, it's a shame that. Granted, Conker wouldn't have continued under Nintendo, but it's a shame that Microsoft had no idea what to do with it.
Yeah, it's just a shame that Conker is so irrevocably tied to Chris Seaver that it really has no chance of being resurrected satisfactorily.
I'm saying I think Chad could do a passable Conker voice, and I would happily write a new Conker game with Chris Seaver's blessing, of course. But I really feel like we have a solid foundation of where to take the story. That would be really just a kind of devil and angel on your shoulder. If it was ever offered to us to at least steer the direction of a new Conker, would we do it?
And you would take on that responsibility.
Ultimately, we would probably ask for Chris Seaver's blessing. Hopefully we would get it, but because I really think like we could take it into some cool places. Then the game would bomb horribly, and then we would never work with Microsoft again. So,
but it'd be one more Conker game. That's one more than we had before.
Exactly. I'm not gonna get into the pitch because it's still. I mean, we've gone over the idea a little bit on the forums. The elevator pitch, as you said, it's Conker meets Dante's Inferno,
which is a well melded idea. I think there's a lot of.
Yeah, I think it's perfect. Take the bits of the last game that were sublime, which is the nighttime portions, and kind of mature the humor a bit.
Yeah, definitely.
And make Conker. I really want to understand what makes Conker tick. I want to see what led to him becoming so self-absorbed between Pocket Tales and Bad Fur Day. So I think explore that backstory a little bit in the game too, and bring his character arc to a close. I would write it as the final Conker game, and if it got sequels, then you could go from there. But I would write it as this is the last time Conker's ever going to appear. So let's finish his story.
Would it be called Conker's Last Fur Day?
No, I think Conker's next day or Conker's day after, something like that. Just I never liked Conker's other day or
other bad day.
Yeah, that just was an awful title.
Yeah, man. But I don't know. it's really wonderful that Nintendo found a good company for Donkey Kong as Rare was disintegrating, because really, had Retro not come along when they did, DK Vine really wouldn't be here.
Everything, I don't believe in the concept of fate. I think it's bullshit. I think we make our own destiny. However, I believe in happy coincidences and things working out just perfectly, and that's definitely what this was. It really couldn't have played out better than it did. I mean, sure, it could have played out better. We could have had Kremlins, and, it could have...
could have gotten some games between 2010 and 2013.
Yes, but ultimately, the way Returns went down, like I said, DK Vine probably wouldn't be here today if Returns... And there were never any formal talks between Chad and I that we would disband the site, because we didn't even own the site at the time. Chiphead David owned the site.
I always wanted to ask you about that, because I knew he owned the site back in the New Staff days, but he also owned it in 2009?
Yeah, I think at some point, I know from the Donkey Kong Universe days, I was paying for the site on a monthly basis. And then when we left again, I think we gave it to David, and we just washed our hands with it. I think that was during the Elvin Slick Monty days. But I don't really... Again, that whole era is just has a haze over it. But, yeah, we came back in 2010, and, yeah, David was really gracious enough to give us the keys to the kingdom back. And honestly, had there not been a Donkey Kong Country Returns, we probably would not have wanted the site back. And it would have probably... I'm sure David... I don't know what his plans would have been, but I don't know if he would have kept it going.
Yeah, I mean, when you're outlaying that much money for a user base that would only dwindle.
Yeah, so I really think that... and I'm sure, I would look back today in this alternate universe and look back on it and really regret that it was gone. But if there was no Returns, I probably would get over. I was like, oh man, DK Vine, those were the days.
Yeah, but those were the days, because all of that was in the past.
Yeah, so it worked out, and it was really fun to come back. That was such a fun E3. God, the build up to that E3, the build up to seeing Returns, it was... I've never had that much fun on the internet since. I mean, it had been, years and years. So
I just remember reading those tweets about going bananas for this new game and sitting there and thinking, okay, there's no way that's not about Donkey Kong, right? There's no way that's not about Donkey Kong, and just getting more and more excited.
The problem is, what defined Donkey Kong at that point?
Yeah,
the arcade games, Jungle Beat, it seemed like such an outside chance that it would be a country game. And I didn't even think it would be a country game. I was just hoping it would be something that was close to the style. The fact that they called it Donkey Kong Country Returns, I think, was the most shocking aspect of that video. That they saw that as a viable brand name again, and they still do.
Well, I did feel like after the massive success of New Super Mario Brothers that, I felt like there was a good chance that they were going to bring Donkey Kong back in 2D.
There was that, and nothing else they did with Donkey Kong worked. So Donkey Kong 64 I'm not including because that sold really well. That's what's kind of brushed under the rug, is how well that game sold. But Jungle Beat, the Peg Swingers... I feel bad about Payon because I love Payon, but none of their output was promoted, so it's not really their fault that it all failed to really do well. But yeah, nothing they did with Donkey Kong worked. Donkey Kong only meant marginal success. It was enough to get 3 sequels in Japan, 2 in the West, or one sequel in the West. 3 games, 2 in the West. But yeah, Donkey Kong Nintendo tried to reinvent it so many times and just fell on its face each time. So why not try Donkey Kong Country again? No, guess what? It sells great.
Yeah, and it did indeed sell great.
But I will say though that I know we're infamous for our Miyamoto bashing and our Nintendo bashing, and
I think I wrote 17 paragraphs to you guys about that one night.
Yeah.
Nobody replied, but I knew you all read it.
I think we were completely justified back in the day, though, because...
No, you totally were. I mean, it was a fucked situation. Fucking Star Fox and Jungle Beat and just all this shit.
Honestly, the Star Fox thing doesn't bother me anymore. I like Star Fox Adventures, and I'm glad Nintendo at least owns the properties rather than Microsoft, so fuck it.
No, but you go back and you read those first features that Chad and Andre wrote, and it was just the end of the world for you guys back then.
Everything was the end of the world for us back then. I think it was the turn of the millennium, just that mentality, that apocalyptic mindset was just ripe for anything. But yeah, I think we were justified, and I regret how over the top we got with it, which a lot of times was in jest. Let's be honest, like viewing Miyamoto as some sort of despot, like that's just us being silly. But when you have quotes like that Miyamoto quote, when you have the Jungle Beat developers saying they don't feel the characters are fresh enough, how are we not justified as a fan base when it was like everything we held dear was being torn down in front of us? And of course we're going to lash out. We're Donkey Kong Country fans. And why should we be happy with Jungle Beat? It looks ridiculous. It doesn't capture the spirit of anything.
Yeah, we kind of did have to circle the wagons.
But yeah, that's what it was. It was us kind of hunkering down for the oncoming storm. And we weathered it. And now look at us. The sun's out again. And birds are chirping. And we're frolicking and having sex with livestock. It's what happens, and I've given my theory that every franchise goes through this unless you're some sort of protected monster like the Mario or Zelda series. But Doctor Who went through it. Star Wars, people forget Star Wars went through this in most of the 80s after Return of the Jedi. There was no Star Wars content. It was a dry, dead franchise. And I think you always need that decade of nothing to make people appreciate what they had, and then a franchise will be rebirthed, and it will be stronger than it's ever been. And we had to go through that, unfortunately, as a franchise, and I think it was a little bit too soon for us to go through that. I think had the rare buyout not occurred, we wouldn't have seen that for several years. So maybe it was a good thing we got through it, but...
Do you believe that the Rare Nintendo relationship would have kept up through the Wii?
Probably not. I think the biggest factor that's overlooked, and I've been beating this drum a little bit, it hasn't really gotten much response, though, is Howard Lincoln retiring from Nintendo of America. I think he went to run the Mariners. So he was still within the Nintendo family, basically. But he stepped down as president of Nintendo, and he was one of Rare's staunchest supporters in the West. And then you had, oh God, I'm going to look ignorant here. Who was the president of Nintendo?
Yamauchi?
Yes, let's go with that. He was a huge supporter of Rare. He retired. So when Iwata took over, when this whole regime change took over, Ken Law was the kind of the middleman, their go-to guy. He went to Microsoft. They were suddenly without any allies in Nintendo. And they had this new regime who had a new way of doing things, and they suddenly questioned, do we need Rare? Do we need this monster of a company that has this huge selling price? And I think it was short-sighted on Nintendo and Iwata's part. I think it was the audacity that they thought that they could have as strong of a system with the GameCube as they did the N64 and not have Rare developing for them is just ridiculous. Because obviously the GameCube was nowhere near the cultural touchstone that the N64 was. Mm-hmm. And I feel like, honestly, they got lucky with the Wii. I feel like it was dumb, blind luck. There was no... And honestly, it was not a sustainable business model.
As has been played out.
Yeah, you reach out to the grandmothers and the middle-aged people who, never... didn't grow up with Nintendo, fine, but you get the system in their house, you get the bowling, and they're not going to go for anything else. You're not going to sell them on any of your other games. My parents bought a Wii before I bought a Wii. Then that blew my mind. That made me feel like I had entered in this topsy-turvy world where nothing made sense and the rules no longer mattered. But they bought it I think they bought the Wii Sports pack with the bowling, and my mom bought Wii Fitness, and that's it. The system is gathering dust at their house. So yeah, it was short-sighted, and I think they got arrogant. They're still the king of handhelds, and they always have been.
And they've managed to stay strong in the face of even
They
mobile
have,
gaming.
and so kudos to them. I think they didn't drop the torch for portable gaming. They completely fucked up their console business, though, and they're I don't know. I really feel like Rare had no place in this new era. People say, well, it was the Stampers. The new meme is that it wasn't Nintendo's fault. It was Rare for selling out to Microsoft. No, it was both their faults. It was the new regime at Nintendo not realizing what they had with Rare, and it was the Stampers for not realizing what they had with Nintendo. I can understand their desire to want to develop for all systems, because you're making these AAA titles, these fantastic games, and they're only for the one console, and you've got the PlayStation, you've got the Xbox coming out. I can understand the desire to branch out. I really do. My favorite story, and I still don't know how true it is that they wanted to take Donkey Kong Racing multi-platform. And like they pitched it to Nintendo, and they just got laughed in their face.
Yeah.
But
Seriously.
so I can understand that draw. If I were in that position, I would feel the exact same way.
And really, that was probably the only way they were going to be able to maintain their standards of production. I mean, a fucking AAA company these days that produces for the 360 or the PS4 couldn't possibly produce for the Wii U.
Exactly.
There's just not that financial outlay. So, I can understand the actual creative necessity, as unfortunate as it is, for Rare to seek other options, but it's so unfortunate that it had to break something that was working so well and could have worked. It would have at least worked better than what we got.
It's breaking out the cliches, but hindsight really is 2020. I remember I defended the Microsoft. I was a little heartbroken, obviously, but I was like, this is going to be great for Banjo and Conquer.
Yeah, you're more heartbroken about Donkey Kong.
Yeah, but I was really excited. You saw the shift in the site's tone at that time. We were more about the spin-off games because that's where all the promise lie. And, holy shit, we were wrong. Everybody was wrong. Nobody came out of that deal, whether it be Rare, Nintendo, Microsoft, the fans. It was really the biggest blunder. Honestly, it may be the biggest blunder in video game history, and you're never.
I would have to agree.
You're never going to see it bandied as such. You're always going to see like, haha, Atari ET in the landfill. You're going to see shit like that.
Well, they did make more ETs than there were actual Ataris.
Yeah, granted, yes, I know, but
I mean that was kind of an extremely ridiculous case, but no, I'm on board.
But one bad game and the company's short-sighted hopes and dreams on that game don't outweigh the dismantling of what was the Willy Wonka's chocolate factory of video games.
I feel like the Atari crash and all that, a lot of that just had to do with the fad of video games.
The Atari crash needed to happen for the video game market to mature.
Yeah, it was market contraction.
Yeah, and you had to have the Japanese developers come in. You had to have Nintendo that allowed Nintendo to swoop in, and then we owe everything to that market crash. And thank God
those people lost their jobs.
Well, a lot more jobs were created in the long run. So I try to look at it like that. Like, I try not to be callous like that, but
sometimes you gotta do that calculus.
Yeah. But no, it's... And I've given my theory on how in each decade we tear down what was popular in the prior decade. Right. It's all about moving on to what's new and kind of eschewing the past. And you see that with the aughts now. You see things that were wildly popular then just trashed with a band. Like, you look at, like, shows that were wildly popular, like Battlestar Galactica and Lost, and people just shit on them now. And I know in like 5 years the nostalgia is going to kick in, and people are going to be like, "Oh wait, I did like that.
Oh shit, let me borrow your DVDs."
Yeah. Or let me pull them up on Netflix. So the same thing happened with Rare, and and all of its output. And it wasn't until we entered 2010, we were in a new decade, that people were allowed to start liking it again. And we're even now just overcoming that derision that the DKC series faced. So it's kind of interesting to see retroactively the validation of everything DK Vine was saying for that decade. We were kind of laughed off the internet, and hey, we were kind of just keeping the flame alive, guys. Welcome back. You know?
It would have been such a sad coda for the entire site's legacy had it just ended with us never being proven right by history.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that's the great thing about coming back is it's like the new and improved DK Vine, you know, now with optimism, and people are like who have heard the site bandied about as some sort of cesspool, you know, they check it out and they say, oh, it's not so bad. You know, what were people complaining about? That's what pisses me off, is the people who don't check it out again and are just recalling their knowledge from 2004. You know, it's like, yeah, we're actually,
that was a decade ago.
I still see people who say like, well, they hated Jungle Beat, so fuck them. Like, really? Like, do you not get why we didn't like Jungle Beat? I will admit, it's a fun game. It was less offensive than we portrayed it, yes, but it was still, had the developers not trashed everything we held dear, maybe we would have been more open-minded to it. Learn how to sell your damn game to the audience. You're making a Donkey Kong game. Maybe you want to get Donkey Kong fans on board with that. Just a hint.
Maybe you should play the Donkey Kong games and like figure out what they did well. Kind of like what Retro did.
Well, is there anything else, Saf, you wanted to ask me about the forum? Because I feel like it's running long in a tooth, as Chad would say.
Yeah, so you're wanting to put a pin in it? I
mean, let's just say in the next 20 minutes or so, let's start wrapping it up. But
yeah,
I've got E3 projects to get to. God damn it! But
I feel like we've pretty much. I think we've ran for like 2 hours, maybe over 2 hours at this point. Yeah, I think we could probably just give it a wrap here if you wanted to.
Anything else you want to know about the forum? I've got the goods. Secrets long held, finally unraveled.
You know, the thing about secrets is once you learn a secret, there's no longer that mystery. I mean, I know secrets that I wouldn't want to tell you because it would just break your heart to learn certain horrible, shocking truths about DK Vine.
Like you being Helios?
like me being Helios. There might have been stuff along that line.
Well, didn't you ask me once, like the other day, you said something about like a 9/11 joke we made that
right? Because it was on the Mystery Science Theater 3000 tribute images you did on the front page,
right?
And it was early in 2002, and you photoshopped Fox McCloud's face onto the Statue of Liberty, and the text was, "If you don't buy Star Fox Adventures, the terrorists have already won."
Right.
And the forums went apeshit over that, and you ended up taking it down, and you took it down, and Chad fucking yelled at us for being so fucking sensitive.
Yeah. That happened. That's a thing that happened.
That was incredible. That was like, because we all thought that we all treated it, like everybody on the forums was treating it like such a major thing, like something that had to happen now. Like it could not stand on that front page. Like our fucking opinions meant anything. Like we were gonna go anywhere.
It cracks me up how, like now, it's like, 9/11 jokes are hilarious.
I wouldn't even blink if you said that on the conversation.
And that's just such an innocent like that's
not like, even really a joke about 9/11. That's a joke about things people say about 9/11.
Like that was what everybody was saying at the time. Like everything was hyper politicized, and it was if you don't support this, then the terrorists have already won, and it was just random like jingoistic bullshit and
freedom fries.
Yeah, and I hate that era, by the way. That was just like, I mean, the buyout was bad enough, but that whole uber patriotic George W. Bush.
What a terrible era for you to like come into your own as an adult growing a political ideology.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that had to have poisoned you.
The whole march to war and just the Islamophobia that's still prevalent in society, but it was just like, at least there's people who are more knowledgeable about it now. Back then it was just, yeah, let's nuke Iraq.
Yeah.
Because they're all the same, because their skin is brown. Like it just, like, not even ignoring the fact that Iraq was a secular nation. Anyway, see, you take me right back to these days. No, but it's such an innocent joke. So I think it shows how
far we've come.
Well, no, but how distorted everybody's mindset was at the time, that even on a place of a liberal den of sin like the DK Vine Forum, you could still outrage people like that. And I remember we even made a joke about it in Elvin Slick Monty. That was one of we made a point. Like, it still obviously burned us, like, to that day that people had that reaction, because Elvis definitely said, then the terrorists have already won. And it was probably in season 1 when things sucked, but yeah, we definitely pay tribute to it there. Yeah, it just cracks me up how, like, what the hell, guys? I still think about that as when I ponder if a joke goes too far. I think about that, and I said, no, doesn't go too far. Like, not far enough, I say.
I don't think you've come close to the line yet.
I've said some things on the conversation that I have regretted.
You've said some things that have kind of made me do a double take.
Yeah, and I just, like, immediately have to catch myself. Like, I can't believe that came out of my mouth. Like I stand by it for the humor factor, but good lord, that is not the way I feel in real life.
It's incredible how sometimes you even seem to manage to catch Chad out, when I'd assume he'd be well acclimated to you.
Chad has a thin skin when it comes to gross out humor, and mostly involving semen. Semen is his
and yet he's the only one who's made me actually gag.
With what was the gag?
The cum ball of all the condoms. I think it was like the Christmas episode.
Oh, okay.
I was able to get through the bloody tampons. I was able to get through hell and high water with everything else, but he just said the phrase "cum ball" and bile rose up in my throat.
See, I push his buttons. I know how to push his buttons when it comes to semen-related humor. That's why for Christmas I bought him the semen cookbook. And actually, I bought it for Matt too. I don't think it ever arrived. I sent it to his address, but I think it got lost in postage.
Ah, unfortunate.
Yeah.
I'm sure some postal carrier probably nicked it.
My favorite thing in there was the oyster shells with a chilled semen and a hint of lemon. Like, that is just the most vile thing I can imagine.
Jesus
Cold
Christ.
semen, like, oh god,
Ugh.
it's like, it's repulsing me. But Chad, like, will just shut down, so it cracks me. Yeah, I love doing that. And, like, I'm not big on gross out humor in general. Like Family Guy. I used to be a big fan of Family Guy if you look back on the old DK Vine days.
Oh, yeah.
But good lord. Like, that's the thing. Like, when our taste shifted from Family Guy to Arrested Development, I think that's when Green Porn City would have made it.
You started getting a better model for comedy.
Yeah, well, and also our tastes were just maturing, and we were able to appreciate something. And really, the quality of television's really second renaissance started then. Mm-hmm. Like, you had just fantastic serialized shows, and it was no longer just procedural, hope this plays well in syndication, let's reach 100 episodes and cash out kind of mindset. The whole industry was changing, so...
But you know what? Thank God for Family Guy, though, because it managed to let Adult Swim run all this really experimental and boundary-pushing shit at like 1 in the morning, because they could get 200,000 people to watch an hour of Family Guy at 11 o'clock.
I think, I haven't watched Adult Swim in ages. That's just...
you don't watch The Venture Brothers?
Everybody recommends it to me, and it's just one of those...
If you love world building, you need to watch The Venture Brothers.
I know. Chad's always getting me to try to watch this or that, but, Yeah,
you also don't like Christians. I would recommend Moral Oral.
Actually, my viewpoint on Christianity is I don't automatically hate them. I hate the self-righteous Christians. Believe what you want. I have more of a spiritual side than Chad. Chad is the straight-up atheist of the group. I'm more agnostic, which I know is just the pussier way of approaching atheism, but I have more of a... I'm more of an anything could go kind of guy.
I mean, I find agnosticism to just be more just mathematically open.
Yeah, and I try to be accepting of other religions. So except I think the reason I go after Christianity, I do because it's what I grew up with. So I feel like that's what I'm allowed to target. Like I do the Jewish jokes, but that's really not to promote anti-Semitism.
You don't really joke about like Jewish extremists. You don't really joke about like the Israeli political scene.
No, it's more just like Nazism and
Jews
like
are cheap, like they're fucking like caricatures,
right.
Like Julius Streicher drew them in all those children's books.
Exactly. And but I never like go after like Muslims or Hindus or Buddhist or Scientologists. Fuck them. But don't sue Forum Watch. But anyway,
you know who should go after more? Those fucking transhuman rationalists who are looking forward to the rapture so they can all have immortal robot bodies. Because I feel like those fuckers.
Yeah, I feel like they do enough damage to themselves right now. It's no fun to kick the little guy. It's more, that's where people get comedy wrong, and especially conservative comedians. And I'm not trying to make this into an ideological debate, but comedy never works when you make fun of the little guy. The comedy is only funny when you go after those who have more power than you, because only then does it have bite. Only then is it not mean-spirited, and so which is actually why I don't like Family Guy, especially since it came back, because it feels like a lot of the humor is mean-spirited. Like they're making fun of stuff that's less successful than Family Guy. And it's just like, look, you have more money than God, Seth MacFarlane. Like, seriously. Yeah, anyway. What the hell are we talking about?
We can talk about Seth MacFarlane, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I think this about does it.
All right.
You've been a most gracious guest. I hope I've been a most gracious host.
No, absolutely. It was fun just to blabber about nothing. For 2+ hours, and
thank you for sating my curiosity.
Oh yeah,
and the curiosity of our viewers.
Hopefully, the peek behind the veil isn't enough to ruin DK Vine for you.
I don't believe you gave away too much. I don't believe you probably should never do this kind of thing again.
Exactly.
But just once, I think. Because it's not like we're ignorant. You can survive a peek behind the curtain, but you can't really pull it back.
No.
Not even one little ring.
No. But you should be honored that I did Forum Watch, yet I never did DK Vine Radio or whatever.
You never did the Pod DK cast?
DK JV Radio.
DK JV Radio.
Yeah, I never did the. Pod DK cast. Never was invited to the Pod DK cast.
You were never invited?
No.
Wow.
So
did they? Damn.
I think.
Maybe they were intimidated by you.
I don't know. Well, honestly, I probably wouldn't. I was so detached at that point. I probably wouldn't have agreed to do it. I was probably too self-conscious about me as a performer to even give it a shot.
And it is interesting listening to the early episodes of The Vine compared to your ability to perform now, and just how much you've managed to progress in that much of a time period.
Listen to the first episodes of The Conversation. Like the first episode, go back and listen to it, and listen to how muted we were compared to like the bombastic, outlandish voices we use now. It's ridiculous.
The thing about the conversation and tempo for me is that I actually listen to pretty much every podcast I listen to at 1.5 speed.
Really?
Yeah, just it makes the timing punchier, superhumanly punchier. It doesn't take as much time, and so it's actually been really weird talking to you here because it feels like you're intentionally talking slow.
Oh, that's the learning disability. I'm sorry.
But man, I don't even know what I was talking about.
A joke about the mentally challenged. I feel like that's a good as point as any to call it a show.
Yeah, I think.
What was it I just said about kicking people who are down? And how that's the antithesis of comedy. Oh, forget it. Who cares?
Fuck it.
This has been produced by
Saf
and
HYLE.